number 17 brings us back to Spillane Field. Welcome into the Gatemen pregame show. That's Joe Henry. I'm Adam Hipsky. As always, the Wareham Gatemen pregame show is brought to you by Cranberry Federal Credit Union. Joe, first and foremost, happy holiday weekend, my friend.
Happy holiday weekend. Celebrating 250. No better way to do it than with maybe the best rivalry in the Cape League against the Bourne Braves, 2 straight games.
Yeah, part of a home and home. Game 1 tonight. Game 2 takes us to Doran Park. But first and foremost, an off day yesterday. Fenway, a chance for the Gatemen to reset after a losing skid that they didn't really want to go on.
Yeah, one of the best annual traditions in the Cape Cod League. Every team able to ship up to Boston, see the historic venue, Fenway Park, and even take some BP, try and hit it over the monster. Really fun time and a great chance for a group that's been scuffling on the field to connect off the field and hopefully transfer that added team chemistry back on.
All right, well, part of the holiday weekend is former Gateman Ben Crockett is in town, and our sideline reporter CeCe Gabriel is standing by with him.
CeCe Gabriel here with Special Assistant in Baseball Operations for the Red Sox, Ben Crockett. Ben, you were a former Gateman. You returned here to Spillane Field to talk to the players and coaches. What was so special about the organization that you had to come back?
Yeah, this organization meant so much to me. Looking up at the John Wild press box, brings back so many incredible memories. This is the place for me that created the foundation of what I've been so lucky to have is in the professional baseball. And it's really the people of this organization that have kept it going and that have lived out John's legacy.
Well, you speak of John Wild. You spoke of him during their talk with the players. He was the former president and GM of the Gatemen. What impact did he have on you?
Massive. I mean, he gave me the opportunity to come here in the first place. He was an incredible role model for all of us about doing the right thing, working really hard, and following your passion. And I think that's something that he just cared so much about this organization. This was his entire life, and you could really feel it on the field.
Well, knowing the Gatemen and the Red Sox so well, what intersection do you see in terms of both of their identities?
Yeah, I mean it's about the people. It's a passionate fan base for sure, and I think they're both just incredible organizations.
Well, Ben, thank you so much for your time, guys. Back to you.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Joe, we'll get onto the field here between Bourne and Wareham. Bourne, a team that is historically very good within the Cape League. Wareham trying to get to that level, and to do so, a win today would go a long way in getting the Gatemen in that direction.
Bourne's one of those organizations that has just found ways to win consistently. They've won 3 of the past 4 Cape League titles, and they're atop the West Division so far this season, but the kicker is, for as disastrous a start it has been for Wareham, they're not even that far behind. Bourne has a losing record. They're 6-7-3, and that's the number 1 seed in the division. That's the team you're chasing. Wareham, of course, 3-13. Lots of work to do, but it starts with games like these. If you can win intra-divisional matchups, you can catch up a lot faster than with wins over the East Division.
Yeah, it's certainly a different Wareham team than what we've seen in the past after the off day. A couple of new faces, 2 in the lineup today, but on the pitching side, a guy that's been a staple in this rotation. Wade Walton gets the start today. What does he need to do to be successful against a new Braves lineup that he hasn't faced this summer?
It's pretty clear he has to get through the first 2 innings without giving up a run, because 10 of the 11 runs that he has allowed in his 4 starts this season have been in the first 2 frames, and 7 of those have come in the first inning. So get out of that first frame clean. Hopefully the offense can get going earlier in this game and not be chasing runs late. Get yourself a lead, get yourself more comfortable, and just give some depth. Walton's gone about 4 innings just about every time, but if he can get into that 5th inning, especially on a really hot day, and preserve the bullpen a little bit heading into a full weekend of festivities, that's going to be a great sign for the Gatemen.
Wareham and Bourne, first pitch right around the corner. We'll talk to you post-game on the Wareham Gatemen Baseball YouTube channel. That's Joe Henry. I'm Adam Hipsky. We'll talk to you soon.
No better way to kick off the weekend of America's 250th birthday And with its pastime, baseball. And we got that for you here on a Friday night at Spillane Field as the Wareham Gatemen play host to the Bourne Braves. The first time that these two sides have faced each other this season. Should be a fun one. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky here in the booth all night. Adam, the first matchup between these two sides doesn't come till July 3rd, and Wareham at the bottom of the West Division going against the top-place Braves.
Better start to get used to this group right here if you're Ryan Smythe's team. They'll see Bourne plenty, and a home-and-home starts today, and a chance after an off day. These guys got the chance to reset, come together as a group as opposed to individuals, and now an opportunity to have a much better July after a day off in Fenway.
Certainly searching to get back on the right track. It was Fenway Day yesterday, as you mentioned, all 10 teams making the trip up to Fenway Park to do some workouts, be in front of some scouts. Someone that has stood out so far this season for Bourne has been Blake Schaff. He is the leadoff man today over at second base.
5'11", rising senior in his third season of summer baseball, his first with the Bourne Braves. He'll bat leadoff today for the third consecutive game. Started his collegiate career at Georgetown, worked his way up after a couple of seasons with the Hoyas and with Wake Forest now, and he's been absolutely phenomenal so far this summer. You see what he did against Hyannis, a 2-hit day, 3 walks. He's a tough out to get, and it will be a tall order for the Gatemen.
And on the other side of things, it is Nate Nowitzki as the player to watch. He started to generate some good offensive momentum for Wareham down the stretch in that 9th inning against Brewster.
How could he not be? And we talked about Schaff as a guy that's tough to retire. Well, Nate Nowitzki was nearly impossible to get out in Wareham's last game back on the 1st against Brewster. A 2-for-3 day, drove in a run and a couple of walks for the 5'11" redshirt sophomore from Arizona. So for Nate Nowitzki, it's a big opportunity today, and it's a lineup that looks a little bit different than what we've seen. 2 new faces, so a big chance for the Gatemen.
Certainly trying to get off to the right foot here in July. I've played 1 game in it. That was on the 1st, and that was a 5-3 loss against Brewster here at home. Wareham looks to break a 5-game losing streak and get a win against a West Divisional foe. Coming up after this here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Just about ready for game time here at Spillane Field between Wareham and Bourne. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. We'll have the call for you tonight here high above the field in Wareham. Adam, we've talked plenty about this Gatemen lineup, people to watch, players to watch. Someone that looks to start off strong tonight is Wade Walton. Hasn't had the best going so far when he started on the bump, but looking to bounce back.
And it all starts with the starter. And for Wade Walton, the starting pitcher, it's about how he starts, because throughout this summer he's given up 11 runs, and over 75% of them, Dan, have come within the first 2 innings of his starts. And it's a guy that was used plenty at High Point this spring, and now with an opportunity to start to put the pieces together, because he's making his 4th start of the summer, and his longest one was just 4 innings. And he's a guy that tossed more than 83 innings at High Point this spring. He knows that he has the extension if needed, but he hasn't shown it. So I think it'll be interesting how he works throughout the top of this Bourne lineup.
A Bourne lineup that certainly is plenty talented comes into this game with the best batting average in all of the Cape League at .253. And let's run you through it right now. It'll be the Switch hitting Blake Schaff to start off in the leadoff spot. He has been the leadoff hitter the past 3 games for Bourne. Then it's going to be Rustin Rigdon. He's at short today. Andrew Costello, the catcher, currently with the best batting average among active players in the Cape League with a 367. Then it'll be his brother, Luke Costello, to follow him up at first. Then it's Matt Bolton, the left fielder, Mark Quattrani, the DH tonight. Trent Caraway down there in the 7-hole. John Cooper Williams in the lineup, and rounding things out is John Stutzer, the center fielder. Certainly a Braves lineup that looks to wreak some havoc early on against Wade Walton.
Yeah, and it's crazy what Bourne can do up and down this order, and it won't be easy. We talk about how does Wade Walton start in the first and second inning. Well, while that is important, it doesn't get any easier. If he retires the first 6 hitters in order, it doesn't really get that much easier. You have John Cooper Williams hitting 8th. He's a 300 hitter. You've got Trent Caraway, who leads Bourne with 12 walks, and we're nearly not even 15 games through the season. Or he hasn't played 15 games. So it's like this lineup that even if Wade Walton can get through 6 up, 6 down, it doesn't really get much easier. So he's got to be sharp up and down throughout today.
Certainly does not get much easier. And Bourne also finally gets back Mark Quattrani, the DH. He has not played since the 6th game of the season, which was against Falmouth on June 19th. But Wade Walton certainly looking for a bounce back in his last start. Went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those earned. That was against a YD Red Sox squad that really has the same offensive capabilities that this Bourne team does. So Walton looks for a better start as he toes the slab on what it was a really hot day here in Wareham. Temperatures peaking at 100, but finally starting to cool down. And we certainly need it. It has been a boiling one here in Wareham. But we're ready to go. First pitch misses high and away. Official start time of 6:02 in the first matchup of Wareham and Bourne this season.
And trying to give him a little bit of time, let that sun start to set. Still not expecting it for another couple of hours.
It certainly has been hot in the Cape the last couple of days as the 1-0 from Walton is in there for strike 1. He's a guy that likes to attack early and often, lets the defense do the work for the most part, but that at times can give him trouble. Saw that in his last start against the Red Sox. Here's the 1-1. Called strike, outside part for strike 2, and Schaff is just so skilled out there. A 289 hitter through 14 games for Bourne. Went 2 for 4 against Hyannis last time with a triple. He's tied for first for most triples in the league with 3, as the 1-2 from Walton misses outside. And he's tied with his teammate, Matt Bolton, who's in the 5-hole today for Bourne. Just speaks volumes to how deep this team really is 1-9, the 6-7-3 record. Not a true representation of how skilled this squad is. Here's the 2-2 from Walton. It's put into play on the left side, tails foul and out. So we'll do it again at 2-2.
For Wade Walton, I think right now getting that first out under your belt against Blake Schaff, I mean, he's gotten the scouting report. He knows that there won't be an easy out up and down this Braves order, but build yourself a little bit of confidence early on.
Walton sporting the 5-pitch mix of fastball, changeup, slider, sinker, and the curveball. The fastball headlines things at 38%. Comes home with the 2-2. Paints the outside corner for strike 3. First out in this game comes by way of the strikeout for Wade Walton.
And that's huge because for Wade Walton, you're ready to battle. You've prepared. Blake Schaff is a leadoff guy, so no surprise there, but after the long fly ball, Walton wasn't really phased. Schaff got frozen, and an excellent job by Wade Walton to start things out in the first.
So now it's Rustin Rigdon, the shortstop. First pitch to him. Catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Rigdon, shortstop from Vanderbilt, has played in 14 games this year for Bourne. A .216 batting average for him. Walton up. Here's the 0-1. Misses outside, and the defense today for Wareham, a couple of new faces that we haven't seen before. It's Clark behind the plate, and Connor Cuff making his debut over there at third base. Henry DeGiorgio at short. Katie Lum over there at second. Tony Lira at first, as here's the 1-1. Chopper in front of Walton. He fields it himself, underhand flip to the bag in plenty of time. 2 quick outs here for Wade Walton. And just to finish out the defensive alignment today for Wareham, Carter Groen also making his Wareham debut out there in left field. The man from LaSalle this past season. Then it's R.J. Hamilton in center field making his first start since YD, the last time that Walton pitched. And it's Jason Wax in right. He's the leadoff man. For Wareham tonight, we'll have first crack at it in the bottom half, but still 1 out to go here for Walton against the catcher Andrew Costello.
I think everyone's really excited to watch Carter Groen and Connor Cuff offensively, just because of how this offense has started to sputter a little bit. But defensively, what can they bring to the table here, at home in the top half of this game? Can you make the routine plays look routine?
A 1 in there for strike 2. Walton has looked really sharp so far to start this game, and a ball has not been put in play yet to third or to left field, so haven't been able to see Groen or Cuff, 2 highly skilled hitters this past season that both batted above 300 at their respective schools. Here's the 0-2. It's a chopper over to Cuff. His first defensive play across the infield is spiked in the dirt, not in time, and it goes in and out of the glove of Lira, but Costello had that beat out anyway, and Bourne has their first base runner of the game.
Yeah, just the slow chopper, and you'll see it right here. Cuff on the transfer bobbled it and had to re-corral the throw to first. Once he bobbled it and didn't get the throw off in one fluid motion, Costello was beating that out all the way. It's got to be quicker from Cuff over there at third.
Wait and see how that's officially scored, but now his brother Luke Costello steps to the plate. Both of them spending this past season with Wake Forest, as you see it, just a year apart, and both getting experience with the Braves. First pitch in there on the corner for strike 1. Both of these Costellos have gotten off to a good start here with Bourne. Andrew leading the league in batting average at .367. His brother not too far behind. Here's the 0-1. It's spiked in the dirt. Clark blocks it for a second. Regains. And Costello not going over. He's 0 for 2 on stolen base attempts this season.
Got to be refreshing if you're Andrew Costello. Kind of know the tendencies that your brother has, what pitches he likes, what he doesn't. It's not a coincidence those two are stacked up in the order next to one another.
Costello, a .277 hitter this season, and picked up a base hit against Hyannis last time. 1-1 is chopped back to the screen, and now Walton just a pitch away from putting up a 0 here in the top half of the first. Trying to give this Wareham offense some zeros to build around. Struggled with that last game. Were held scoreless for the first 7 against Brewster before putting up a run in the bottom half of the game. Walton ready, fires, 1-2 is slapped over to DiGiorgio at short. He flips over to Elam at second for the easy out. So Wade Walton faces 4 hitters here in the top half of the first and doesn't allow a run. We head to the bottom half. Wareham coming to swing it here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom half of the first here at Spillane Field, no score between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Just saw it on your screen. Jaden Alba getting ready to go here for Bourne in this game. The starter trying to match Wade Walton after he put up a 0 in the top half of the first.
6'3", right-handed pitcher from Arizona State, has been with the Sun Devils for all 3 years of his collegiate career, and that's a rarity nowadays. He's pitching for the Braves, and he's been very good for Bourne so far this summer. A sub-1 ERA. This past spring, though, with Arizona State, started to get hit around a little bit. A 3-3 record, made 4 starts across 17 appearances, tossed nearly 50 innings, had a 6.52 ERA.
Alba sports a 5-pitch mix. It's fastball, sinker, slider, curve, and the change, headlined by the fastball. At 40% usage against both righties and lefties. Digs in against the leadoff man for Wareham. That is Jason Wax, who has become a mainstay at the top of the order for the Gatemen. Tonight, he's out in right field, and Alba is ready. Takes a deep sigh. Deals his first pitch. It's out and away for ball 1. Really, this Wareham team has struggled offensively, but here's the lineup. Ryan Smythe rolls out tonight. It's Jason Wax, then R.J. Hamilton in there for the first time since he played against YD. Nate Nowitzki, Levi Clark, Connor Cuff making his debut. Get you the rest in just a second. 1-0, just misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Cuff, a .301 hitter this past season across 55 games at Southeastern Louisiana. Then it's Cade Elam. Henry DeGiorgio bumps up a spot from the last game, and Carter Groen down there in the 9-hole, plenty capable. A .338 batting average at LaSalle this past season. The 2-0, again, misses on the outside corner, so Alba has not thrown a strike here to start off the outing against Wax.
And I know everyone's looking forward to seeing Connor Cuff and Carter Groen, what they can do at the plate, but R.J. Hamilton, who hasn't played in a while, dealt with a little bit of an injury. Now he's got a chance to bounce back today.
3-0, up and away, so it's a 4-pitch walk from Alba to start off things, and he's someone that rarely does that. Entered this game as one of 14 pitchers in the Cape with a sub-1 ERA, and he also has a 2.8 strikeout to walk ratio, so that a rarity for Alba, but Wareham looking to take advantage of it with the center fielder R.J. Hamilton coming to the plate. And like Adam mentioned, the first time that he is in the lineup since Wareham played the YD Red Sox, and that was just around a week ago on the 27th. First pitch to Hamilton, up top in there, first strike of Alba's outing.
Like, how aggressive is R.J. Hamilton going to be for a guy that hasn't seen live pitching in a week? Do you go at him early? You just saw Wax take a 4-pitch walk. Will you be a little bit more passive?
0-1 will be a check first over on Wax, a guy who has 3 stolen bases this past season, has been caught once. Hamilton was swinging a hot bat before he was out of the lineup, had 4 straight games with a hit. That, of course, being after his last start. 0-1 on nearly runs in and hits him. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, very, very nearly missed him. But Hamilton stays alive, and you've seen 1 good pitch from Alba and 1 poor one. And then when you were on deck, 4 pretty non-competitive misses to Wax.
1-1. Popped out of play on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is the first meeting between Wareham and Bourne. Kind of interesting. 2 teams that are the closest to each other in proximity for Wareham. And the 2 haven't flashed since today, are slated to play 5 more times through the rest of July and a little bit of early August. The second matchup being tomorrow night at Bourne. 1-2. Cut straight back to the screen. Count goes to 1-2. And a year ago, when these 2 teams played in this home-and-home series, Bourne took both, swept it, and that was flipped. So Wareham traveled to Bourne on the 3rd, and then the Bravos came here on the 4th of last year. A 1-2 count to R.J. Hamilton with Wax over on first. He gets a big lead and is caught in a pickle. The toss over to second in plenty of time to Rigdon, and Wax is rung up on the bases. A nice move from Alba for the first out.
Gives up a 4-pitch walk, which you don't feel great about if you're the Braves, but then Alba bounces back and catches Wax with a large lead off the bag, and now that threat eliminated.
Go after Hamilton in the 1-2. Rolls over a pitch to third. Caraway throws across the diamond. Strong throw in there. 2 outs, and this defense has been good for Bourne. We'll set it for you right now. It's Andrew Costello behind the plate. Then it's going to be Trent Caraway over at third, who just made that play. Rustin Rigdon at shortstop, who tagged out Wax. Then it's Blake Schaff, Luke Costello. Left to right in the outfield, Matt Bolton, John Stutzer, and John Cooper Williams. Really a compact defensive unit that has been clean defensively. Just one error among the 9 defenders today for Bourne. It's the 3-hole hitter Nate Nowitzki at the plate. First pitch, top of the zone for a strike.
That was a great play by Trent Caraway at third. I'm not sure if he would have gloved and transferred and then threw, he would have had enough time, but he snags it on the bare hand and loads up an absolute laser.
A 1 cut on and missed from Nowitzki, who last game was also in the 3-hole and contributed in a big way. Went 2 for 3 with an RBI, pair of walks. He had the single in the bottom half of the 9th, which at the time made the game 5-3. However, Henry DeGiorgio was thrown out at home for the second out of that bottom of the 9th rally. The 0-2 misses outside for ball 1, and then that led to Wareham dropping the game. They were down 5-3, had runners at first and second with 2 outs. Just a little bit too late after they had the bases loaded with 1 down. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Nate Nowitzki goes down. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jaden Alba. He issues the walk but picks off Wax and faces the minimum. After 1 frame here at Spillane Field, we've got no score. We're on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Top half of the second here in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. A couple new members joining Wareham today and that are in the lineup. You see Carter Groen, Connor Cuff, Noah Sheffield hopped on a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Noah Sheffield has been a very welcomed addition. Didn't have the debut that he would have liked. Not here today after taking a visit. Made it out of the transfer portal to Michigan.
First pitch popped up in shallow infield, and it drops. Cuff was going to play it. It was kind of a mess on the infield on who it was going to be, and Matt Bolton, the left fielder, with the leadoff infield single on a mile-high pop-up.
Well, I mean, you look at it there, Cuff is in foul ground, and then all of a sudden, where it landed, it wasn't even close to foul ground. So just lost it in the sun, but, you know, not the start defensively that Connor Cuff would have liked.
He is due up in the bottom half of the second. We'll get a chance to bounce back after that mistake. Officially goes down as a single for Bolton, so second base hit of the ball game. Here is Mark Quattrani, the DH. Tailor-made double play. On to first in time. And Connor Cuff bailed out on what was a nicely turned double play from Elam and DeGiorgio.
Great job by Elam to not try and rush it. Knew he had to stay back, catch that ball on a hop, didn't charge it, fielded awkwardly, sat there, waited, collected, and went right there to a covering DeGiorgio. Great defensive play from Wareham after kind of a miscommunication, miscue in the field.
That
for
was
Bolton single.
Quattrani's first at-bat in 2 weeks. Here's Trent Caraway, the third baseman, as Walton misses down low for ball one. And you just look at the way that Wade Walton's pitching. If he can face three hitters here in the top half of the second, would certainly be a confidence boost for him, as the 1-0 just misses on the outside corner. That was pitch number 21.
Yeah, and Trent Caraway is a tough guy to get out. He's drawn 12 walks so far this summer. But if you're Wade Walton right now, if you can retire him, see how he continues to work away from the strike zone. You certainly like your chances for a guy going deeper into a game than what he has been. 4 innings, his longest start.
That was against YD last time out. Let up 3 runs, 2 earned in that one. 3 balls, no strikes to Caraway, the third baseman, a guy that loves to work the walk. Does so here. That is 13th of the summer, and the Braves have a 2-out base runner for back-to-back innings to start off this game.
Yeah, and Trenton Caraway does draw a ton of free passes, but Wade Walton kind of gifted him one there. Didn't make him work for it much. And the luxury of the Bourne lineup, because now you bring in a 300 hitter, and it really doesn't get easy at any point.
That being John Cooper Williams. First pitch runs inside for ball one, and immediately Levi Clark out to go talk with Walton, who has tossed 5 straight balls. Williams, a guy that went 0 for 4 against Brewster, did not play a game ago when Bourne fell 8-7 to Hyannis. They actually trailed that game 8-0 in the bottom half of the 7th, mounted the comeback, but came up just short, similar to Wareham's 5-3 loss to Brewster, where they loaded up the bases in the bottom half of the 9th, but couldn't get enough across. Runner at first. Here's the first pitch to the left-handed hitter. It's a strike, and Williams has only played in 4 games. This his 5th, but has really been a guy who has found his swing early and often for Bourne. Trying to do something here with 2 outs on the board. The 1-1. Chopper over to Elam. He fields on a hop, tosses to DeGiorgio at short, and that's how the top half of the second ends. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, with 1 left on base. We head to the bottom half. No score here at Spillane Field on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Getting set for the bottom half of the second here in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. We take a look back to Wareham's last game. That was a 5-3 loss against the Whitecaps here at home, and Adam won where Wareham had some momentum down the stretch.
Yeah, and it was just another one too little too late. Wareham surged in the back half of the game, and especially in those final 3 innings, started to get some offensive production, but just not enough. And when you lose by 2 runs and you have the tying run in scoring position, you have one play where, it's a fair foul, debatable one down the right field line. So close, but if you're Wareham, you're trying to get more production earlier on in games.
Trying to do that here with Levi Clark, the catcher today, at the plate to open things up here in the bottom half of the second. First pitch from Alba is rocked into center field, but Stutzer moves over a couple of steps and is there to make the play. A hard hit ball from Levi Clark, who had an RBI last game, results in nothing, and there's one down.
That first pitch breaking ball, and Alba might have gotten away with one. Levi Clark tried to square up on it, but got a decent piece. But if you're John Stutzer, right there not having to move much, pretty easy start.
Alba has faced the minimum here through 4 hitters, issued the leadoff walk to Jason Wax before he picked him off. Now it's Connor Cuff, his debut with Wareham at the plate. First pitch in there, top of the zone, 4-strike-1. Cuff, a guy who spent this past season at Southeastern Louisiana, starting in all 55 games with a .301 batting average. Is a really skillful hitter and looks to bring that here to Wareham. Slaps the ball over to third base on the 0-1. Caraway fields and throws across the diamond in plenty of time. And it's two quick outs for Jaden Alba here in the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, and both of them might have gotten away with leaving a pitch in places that they didn't want to leave one. But if you're Wareham, you have to start taking advantage of those. It was a breaking ball to Levi Clark, that time a fastball, but kind of middle away. And for Cuff, Bill, trying to get acclimated to Kate pitching after a really good spring, but a ground out.
Now Tony Lira, the first baseman, at the plate. First pitch from Alba. In there for a strike, falls out of the glove of Costello behind the plate. Lira, back-to-back games where he has had a base knock after an 0-for-16 spell. And, of course, that coming after he had a hit the first 7 games of this season. So it's been up and down for the man from Arizona, but starting to find it once again. This pitch runs in and hits him in the back. First hit by pitch, give it up by Alba, and Wareham now has a base runner with 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
We talked about Alba maybe getting away with a couple of pitches. Well, that was because he left them too much in the zone. That one he doesn't get away with because of how bad of a miss it was, and now a 2-out base runner. Alba not going to be able to face the minimum anymore after the 2-out base runner.
We'll go against the second baseman, Cade Elam, who turned that nice fielder's choice in the top half to get Wareham out of that inning with the 0 on the board, looking to contribute offensively. Lira with the leadoff of first. First pitch from Alba is a cut and a miss from Elam. Another guy who's really had a hot bat lately, 4 games in a row where he's had a hit after starting his season 0-for-15. Was a .300 hitter with Louisville in his freshman year and starting to produce to that potential once again. Big breaker from Alba on the 0-1. Finds the zone, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, froze Cade Elam right there. Saw it well above the zone, and then it just dipped right in. Very nice pitch from Alba, and like you said, Cade Elam getting really good barrel on balls as of late.
What you like to see if you're Ryan Smythe and company. A look over on Lira at first. He does not have a stolen base so far this season. Not known as a base stealer, led Arizona in batting average, hits, doubles, OBP, but not speed. Leave that to other guys on the team like Cade Elam. Trying to battle here in an 0-2 count. Checks his swing. He does not go around. Home plate umpire Brian Roth with the best look of it says no. And over at first today, Keith Peterson, Charlie Tashin at third. That's the crew here on a beautiful Friday night ahead of America's 250th birthday tomorrow. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Elam. Alba comes home. High chopper over to short. Brigden picks it up, throws across the diamond, and the throw is high. Elam makes it over to first, and now a potential chance for Wareham to cash in on a throwing error from Rigdon.
Yeah, Rigdon, and you see Fields on a couple of hops, and he was deep in the hole, had to throw off his back foot, try to put all he could into it, but Luke Costello had no chance of either A, catching it and getting down on the bag. It was either one or the other.
So Alba doesn't help himself with the hit by pitch, and his defense doing him no favors here on that E6. Now it'll be the other shortstop, Henry DeGiorgio, at the plate. Takes a first pitch out and away for ball one. Wareham looking to really cash in here early on, and correct myself, that a single for Elam over there to short. So that's the first hit of the ball game for Wareham here in the bottom half of the second. Alba comes set. Here's the 1-0. High and away. Ball two.
Couple of two-out base runners for Wareham, and too many times this season they've let these opportunities go by the wayside. Doesn't matter how you got here. If it was an errant throw from the shortstop and a hit by pitch, you have the runners on. Now it's time to bring them home. Give yourself that early edge.
DeGiorgio loops a ball into shallow right field. Coming on is Williams. He slides and makes the play to end the inning. A beautiful play from John Cooper Williams out there in right field, strands the threat. So Jaden Alba gets out of this inning with no runs, one hit given up, two left on base. After 2 innings here at Spillane, we have no score on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
We've hit the third inning here at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. It's been interesting for Wareham so far this season. Feels like when the hitting shows up, the pitching does not. But for Bourne, it's been pretty complete throughout.
Yeah, it has. And you see right there, the only one of these 4 statistical categories that they don't rank in the top half is strikeouts. They're only 19 away across, the same amount of games for Wareham. So it's not a big difference. And for the Gatemen, I think when it comes to strikeouts and ERA, you would probably like to have those switched. I think you would take it if maybe you had some fewer strikeouts and gave up a couple fewer runs. But I think Wareham has to feel good about its situation right now when it comes to pitching. Hitting, though, needs to follow.
Trying to put up another 0 here in the top half of the third. John Stutzer, the 9-hole hitter to lead things off, has taken 2 straight balls from Wade Walton. 9-1-2 for Bourne. Righty switch and left. Big cut and a miss from Stutzer makes things 1-2. Going against Walton, who has faced some traffic in the first 2 innings, has given up a base hit in each, but has worked around both nicely and has strung together back-to-back zeros for the first time this season in a start for him. The 1-2 is fouled off the glove of Clark. The count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like what Wade Walton has done early in counts. The only really hitter that he wasn't super competitive with was Trent Caraway. Gave him the free pass easily. Other than that, it's been some soft contact. A couple of plays that have gone down as singles that could easily have been errors.
1-2 is pulled out into the left-handed batter's box. It's 2-2.
And maybe not errors in the sense of scoring decisions, but plays that your defense could have made that they didn't, especially the pop fly. It was a tough play for Cuff at third on the throw. Would have had to rush it a little bit, but for Wade Walton, been really good. Continue to pound the zone.
2-2. Stutzer checking his swing. He goes around as he was trying to get out of the pitch, so a lucky break for Wade Walton. That's his second strikeout of the day, and there's one down.
Yeah, he does, and he loads up like he wants it, and it just comes right in at the hands of John Stutzer. It was not pretty, but if you're Wade Walton, that one has to feel good. In a 2-2 count, getting a guy that uncomfortable, and now you start your trip through the order the second time.
Gets the job done. Blake Schaff at the plate. He was the first strikeout of this game for Walton. That's how the game started. Deals a first pitch strike to him. And Schaff, a very talented hitter. We talked about it earlier, but coming into this game, 289 for Bourne, has solidified himself at the top of the order. This is fourth straight game as the leadoff man. The 0-1 finds the zone for strike two. And Schaff coming into this game, 5 hits in a row. That streak on the line tonight. Looking to extend it here against Walton.
Walton got him to freeze in a 1-2 count in the first time around.
0-2, pulled outside with the off speed, bounces off the glove of Clark. And really makes a difference for these Braves to have a guy like Schaff at the top of the order who also bats switch. Really makes it easy for them to use him in whatever way possible against any pitcher. Walton fires, tried to paint the outside corner. Doesn't get the call from Roth, and the count's 2-2.
Yeah, similar circumstance there. The 1-2 in the first inning got him to freeze. That time just tried to bend a breaking ball on the outside corner. Doesn't get the call, but doesn't want to give Schaff a pitch to tee up on when there's a pitcher's advantage.
Walton to battle again. Forces a ground ball. This time it's over to Elam on 2 hops, throws to first. And there's 2 down. A nice job by Wade Walton, who has retired 3 hitters in a row.
He has, and Kate Elam has done a nice job. And maybe you might look at those plays and say, oh, well, they're routine, and the second baseman, at least the starter, should make those. But Wareham's been tripped up in the field defensively, so every play that you can make helps out your pitcher that much more. It makes those 27 outs that you have to get. When you commit errors, it becomes a 28-29 out game for pitcher. And when you make those plays, it might not seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but all of those little plays certainly add up.
Wareham with its first errorless game in 11 contests last time against Brewster. Rustin Rigdon at the plate took a first pitch ball that fell out of the glove of Clark. Here's the 1-0. It's chopped behind the plate for strike one. Rigdon grounding back out to Walton in that first inning. And Wareham was one of just 3 teams since 2011 to start off the year with an error of 14 of their first 15 games. Looking to clean it up defensively as the 1-1 is put foul. The count goes to 1-2. So got the 0 in the error category against Brewster last time. Looking to continue that here tonight. They do not have one as of right now. And Walton looking for a 1-2-3. Top half of the third. Deep breath at the belt and fires to Clark. The pitch is slapped to the left side and out of play.
Rigdon was way out in front of the off speed on the pitch prior. Bolton tried to speed him up after Rigdon might have been sitting off speed. That time delivers the 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Rigdon bends it away.
Ready for it that time. Walton set again. Comes inside this time, and he misses his spot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Walton has been doing a nice job so far, but has thrown a decent amount of pitches now over 3 innings. Up to 41. This number 42. 2-2. Called strike 3. Walton with his second strikeout of the inning, third on the evening, closes out the top half of the third. His first 1-2-3 of the ballgame. And we head to the bottom half of the third with no score here at Spillane Field on Cape League TV.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Bottom half of the third in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as Wareham looks to mount the first run of this game here in the third. It will be 9-1-2, starting with Carter Groen, the left fielder, and what will be his first at-bat this season for the Gatemen, still going against Jaden Alba, who worked out of some trouble in that second.
Yeah, he hasn't looked flawless, Alba hasn't, and throughout the first, portion of the summer, he has looked very dominant. But if you're Wareham and you've seen your guys, Lyra got hit by a pitch, Elam with a single, you can get to him. It's just see the pitches that you like and make him work for it. Get him deeper into counts. The more pitches you see, the more success you'll have.
So the left fielder ready to go in his first at-bat in a Gateman uniform this summer. First pitch from Alba. This is down low, and Groen, another guy similar to that of Cuff. Started in all 55 games this past season with LaSalle. Had 14 doubles, a triple, 13 bombs, and 72 RBIs. 1-0. Big cut and a miss for strike one. And those 72 runs batted in, a LaSalle single-season record, earns him the promotion to Pitt for next season, looking to get after it with the Panthers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Bounced off the glove of Costello, and for a Wareham lineup that has been struggling to get going offensively, adding 2 above 300 hitters from this past season really helps out, and they're looking for a big spark in a big way, especially number 27 here in the 9-hole. Alba fires. Corner is painted for strike 2.
And Carter Groen's kind of career arc is a little bit interesting. Played at Iona his freshman season and was very good. Then went to UConn, tried to play at more of that high major level. Didn't get the time that he wanted.
2-2. Chopped foul.
And so then went back to LaSalle, continued to refine his skills, and then has a breakout year with LaSalle, and now trying to go back at that high major level. But what's the bridge between LaSalle and Pitt? It's this Cape League and playing against consistent Power 5 pitchers. And right here, Jaden Alba's a guy that has played at that level for the last 3 years.
Fires his 2-2, which is fouled straight back to the screen. And that's all it's about for all the hitters in this lineup, bridging the past college season to the next. But it's especially important for guys like Groen and others who have transferred from these mid-major schools to more of an upper-level Division I program. 2-2, bounced in the dirt. Some nice discipline to start off here from Groen.
Yeah, work the count full, foul off a couple of 2-strike pitches. Try and find yours.
To do that here against Alba.
And that's what you have to do as a leadoff hitter in an inning. Be the toughest out.
Payoff. Weekly chopped over to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for Costello. He won't have a play on it, and it's an infield single for Carter Groen in his first at-bat as a Gateman.
For a guy that broke the single-season record for RBIs at LaSalle, might expect a big, powerful bat, and he might grow to become that. But how about that for your first hit? First at-bat, just a little dribbler down the line, stays fair, gets a little bit of help from the grass, and now leadoff man aboard in the third inning. First time since Jason Wax to have that first guy on.
To get the leadoff man aboard, and now the leadoff hitter in this lineup for Wareham comes to the plate in the form of Wax. Alba ready, comes home. First pitch comes inside, and Wax walked to start off the ball game on offense for Wareham, then was picked off between first and second as he attempted to steal. Looking to erase that, try and move Groen over. who had 10 stolen bases this past season at LaSalle. Gets his lead off of first as Alba comes ready in the 1-0. Give a check over on first base. Haven't seen the arm of Costello today as the pickoff was performed by Alba. See how willing Wareham is to test it, how aggressive they are for that first run of this ball game, which has proved to be something that has been very important for this Gatemen down the stretch. This Gatemen team, that is, as the 1-0 misses on the outer half. 2 balls and no strikes against the leadoff man.
I think Ryan Smith likes what he has as this piece in the top of the lineup. Now, Jason Wax, we kind of knew what we were getting, a polished hitter at Tulane, headed to LSU. But now he's kind of starting to mold into a leadoff hitter, drawing a little bit more of the free pass, working counts deeper. That's the main difference when you're batting first, second, as compared to third and fourth. I was trying to see more pitches, help out your guys. He has started to mold his skill set into a leadoff hitter, and that's exactly what Wareham has needed.
He's flourished in that role, really. The 2-0 just misses outside part. Ryan Roth has not been giving the outside corner to either pitcher so far to start this game. 3 balls and no strikes here to Jason Wax, and Wareham threatening to put 2 runners aboard just like they did last inning against Alba, who worked out of it with 2 outs on the board. Here's the pitch. Middle of the zone for strike 1 in this count. Now Wax looks to go to work. A guy who was 0 for 4 against Brewster last time out, had to walk, a pair of strikeouts, but a .229 batting average, starting to climb up the ranks of these Wareham hitters, contributing to a .213 batting average overall for the Gatemen, which is 9th in the Cape. 3-1, high and away, and there is the walk. So after the single given up on the infield to Groen, Wax works the walk, and a big inning brewing here for the Gatemen, first and second with no one out.
Yeah, you have to like it, especially with R.J. Hamilton and Nate Nowitzki. You're not sure what you have in Hamilton right now as a guy that's still coming off of injury, but Nate Nowitzki, feel good about him. Your R.J. Hamilton, the corners of the infield come in.
I feel good about R.J. Hamilton putting down a bunt in this scenario.
Sure,
There's no one out. He's very speedy. We've seen him try and do it before. Certainly seems like the right time for it, and Wareham has struggled situationally to bring runners home. And this unusual for Alba. Walked 2 batters through 5 innings. Last time out against Brewster, has already matched that total here through 2 innings plus. As Hamilton steps into the box, looking back to the coaching staff and Ryan Smythe to get his orders, see if he should put down the bunt or swing away after he grounded out over to third in the first inning. Alba collects himself after the meeting on the mound with Costello. There is the bunt. Hamilton pulls it back as the pitch was high and away for ball 1. A nice job there from Hamilton to recognize the pitch, get it out of the box in time. And now we'll look to do the same and get it down this time.
Yeah, and I think for R.J. Hamilton, you don't want to be too aggressive with it and get behind because Alba's really having a tough time locating the zone at this moment.
1-0, here's the bunt again, and Hamilton fouls it out of play.
And not a bad pitch to lay down the bunt there. I don't mind it, but definitely don't want to get into a 2-strike count. Intrigued to see if they still want to try and roll the dice.
They'll have 1 pitch to do it before foul would become a strikeout. Groen at second and Wax at first. The corner's pinched in. Hamilton showing bunt once again, moves his feet up in the box, try and get it down, and he pops it out of play. Back-to-back failed bunt attempts now for R.J. Hamilton, and you would assume now he's going to swing away, not bunt. Kind of feels like he let Alba back into this inning with those 2 missed bunts.
Yeah, especially with when you talk about letting him back into it. He wasn't locating the zone very well, and now in a 1-2 count, and how bad the first 2 bunt attempts were from Hamilton. They weren't even really close.
Just got under the ball and fouled it out of play. Tries to do something here now in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Alba fires. Grounds the ball over to the right side. Going to be a tough play. Costello gloves, goes to second for 1. There will be no throw over to first after Rigdon grabbed it. So Bourne cuts down the middle runner, and now there's two at the corners.
Yeah, and a good play from Luke Costello right there as the corner infielder was coming in and making sure that Hamilton didn't try and lay down a bunt, a 2-strike count. Obviously a little bit easier for him to make the play in that position than what he had been in the prior 2 pitches. But still, that ball came at him quickly, and he still gets a glove on it, goes to second, and get one out. Be interesting to see if R.J. Hamilton tries to move a pair in a scoring position.
The more important thing is that Groen goes over to third, and now a ball into the outfielder on the right side could bring home a run. A quick check over on Hamilton, who's a very speedy guy, 3 for 4 on stolen base attempts so far this season.
And now one who was caught stealing his last attempt, 10th inning against Orleans.
That came back to bite the Gatemen as they're being very diligent with Hamilton over there at first, trying to break up this double play that would get Bourne out of this inning after Wareham put the first 2 runners on. Hamilton grounding into the fielder's choice. Over to second base. Still not a pitch thrown in this at-bat, as there have been 3 pickoff attempts over to first base. Luke Costello thought that he had Hamilton on that last one, but he skimpers back to the back.
It was easily the closest one, and I still think if you're R.J. Hamilton, you probably want to shorten up your lead a little bit.
Gets a big lead. First pitch from Alba is high and away for ball 1. Hamilton easily a couple of shuffles off of first base. Staring in on Alba, focusing on that timing, trying to get a good jump and get over to second base. Long pause. Be another look over at Hamilton. 4 pickoff attempts in this at-bat against Nowitzki alone, who Alba struck out to end off things in the bottom half of the first. Could certainly use one of those right now. He does not have a strikeout in this game since that punch out to Nowitzki, as there is the 5th pickoff attempt against R.J. Hamilton. This has become a game of cat and mouse over at first base, and neither side budging. See if Alba throws a pitch. He's only thrown 1 this at bat. Hamilton is ready to go. Does not. 1-0. This is upstairs, and the count now 2-0.
And right now, if you're R.J. Hamilton, I'm not sure if you want to take a bigger lead or a shorter lead, because Alba's focus has to be on delivering a strike in a 2-0 count. Don't want to load the bases up.
We'll go to Hamilton at first. Bourne dugout getting loud, thinks that some of those pickoff attempts have been closer than first base umpire Keith Peterson has said, but back in there safely. That was the 6th attempt. Hamilton with 3 stolen bases, tied for first on this Gatemen squad. 2-0 is smacked into left field. Coming in is Bolton. He makes the play on the run. There will be no tag coming from third from Groen. So that a perfect at-bat if you are Bourne. Nowitzki flies out to left, and there's 2 down.
2 lineouts. Henry DeGiorgio had one, Nate Nowitzki the other. 2 left-handed hitters that have gotten good pieces of Jaden Alba, but in that situation, you'll absolutely take that if you're Bourne. After 6 pickoff attempts to second, now you're less worried about R.J. Hamilton because 1 out gets you out of the inning.
Going against the hard-hitting Levi Clark, though. Someone that certainly can drive in a run with a base hit in this spot. Still runners at the corner with 2 outs. Alba set on the rubber. Still looking over to Hamilton with 2 outs on the board. He's gone over there 7 times in this bottom half of the third since Hamilton has reached base.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to keep him honest, but you're Hamilton. Not sure that's your number 1 priority is getting over to second.
That's a couple of steps. Now goes over. Pitches outside. There is no throw down from Costello. So after a long back and forth, Hamilton finally gets the stolen base. He now is the leader in the clubhouse for Wareham in stolen bases, up to 4.
Yeah. What do I know? Right there saying R.J. Hamilton doesn't need to worry about going to second with 2 away. Remove the force out at second. No throw. Don't really blame him if you're Andrew Costello, the catcher.
All the focus on Levi Clark, who flew out into center field last inning. 1-0 pitch is a beautiful breaker at the top of the zone. Makes the count 1-1.
Yeah, and Clark wanted it back because it started to settle in the zone, but Clark, I think where it ended is a pitch you would have liked. Where it started, not a pitch he was a fan of.
Back-to-back hits and back-to-back games for Levi Clark. Trying to get a base knock here, but cuts and misses at the 1-1. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Give credit to Jaden Alba. He's worked back hard in this 3rd inning to really work out of this jam and trying to strand 2 runners for back-to-back frames. Come set. Long, deep pause. Fires the 1-2. It's high and away. Costello has to get out of the crouch. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here with 2 outs and 2 runners on in the bottom half of the 3rd. Clark trying to deliver some RBI power. Had a run batted in last game against Brewster, although that was on a bases-loaded walk. Trying to do it with his bat here, 2-2. Popped up, right side, bordering fair foul ground. Williams with the long jog over makes the play as he skimpers out of the stadium. And after 3 innings of play here in Wareham, we have no score with the Gatemen leaving 2 on once again for back-to-back innings. Now time to send things to the 3rd member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel, for the first time tonight.
Well, thanks, guys. Tonight, the Gatemen are facing their 6th division team of the season in the Bourne Braves. It's their 6th matchup. And when I talked to the Gatemen manager, Ryan Smythe, about tonight's competition, he spoke of the Braves' ability to produce runs and how their pitching has been the very thing to win them games. Now, the Gatemen are at the bottom of the West as of right now, but when I talked to Smythe, they actually have 6 division matchups in the next 10 days. So he said that this division series with Bourne is going to be a tough one this weekend, but right now it's all about getting as many division wins as possible to rack up more points and not to hand them over to opponents. Back to you guys.
Safety, long-term value, and outstanding service. To learn more, visit Stadionic.com.
Top of the 4th, Wade Walton back to the mound for the Gatemen in a scoreless ball game between Bourne and Wareham. Part of the Braves lineup coming to swing it: Andrew Costello, Luke Costello, and Matt Bolton due up for the Braves. Well, for Wareham, starting in this home-and-home series with Bourne, last year it was flipped. Gatemen are going to have to deal with that traffic going over the bridge, but I don't think they'll mind on the 4th if they've got a win here tonight.
Certainly, and you look for back-to-back wins. That'd be a nice way to celebrate the 250. You and I will be the ones struggling in the traffic tomorrow, as no team bus for us. But it's really an opportunity. You're going against the top team here in the West Division in Bourne, a chance to grab a couple of games on this division, really get yourself back in the race. I know Wareham's in last, but they're only 3 wins behind Bourne right now. They're 6-7-3. This thing is wide open.
Yeah, you talk about struggling over the bridge. Not sure that's the only thing we're struggling tomorrow.
We'll see. I mean, the thing about going over the bridge for Wareham is that it has not treated them nicely. 0 for 8 on the road.
First pitch to Andrew Costello, misses low of the zone for ball 1. Dan, you want to tell them what we're doing on the morning of the 4th of July?
Well, it's a big commitment for you and I, but we will be running a 4-mile race, which for you and I is definitely going to be a challenge. It might sound like an easier task for others, but the Mattapoisett Road Race is what we will be running tomorrow, and it should be a thrill. Looking at 90 degrees at 9 a.m., I am really, really, really looking forward to running.
So if you tune in tomorrow night, we'll be at Doran Park, hopefully.
I don't know if we're going to make it.
As long as we make it. Not an easy task.
All of our production crew, really, for the most part, also running in the race.
Yeah,
maybe we can coordinate with them, get this streamed. I know a lot of people would probably want to see you and I, our athletic skills and our running prowess.
I don't know.
It's really a joy and a sight to watch. Clock in at about 12 minutes a mile. It's impressive stuff.
That's an indoor 12-minute
that's the really hard part, because when we've done our training, our quote-unquote training, thanks to you and I's brilliant plan to start training for this, we've been training in air conditioning.
And when did we start training?
2 days ago. And we did
2. Good on miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wade Walton, and he continues to cruise. Second trip through the order, back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, and here's the thing, right? We did the 4 miles 2 days ago,
Yep.
and my legs felt sore this morning, waking up. So I'm thinking tomorrow, I'm feeling sore. I should have just waited. I don't know why we started training. I partially blame that on you.
Well, I'm not sure if I had the confidence that we could get through it. Had we not done practice? First pitch to Luke Costello, brother of Andrew, is on the outside corner for strike one. But listen, a Wareham win tonight.
That would motivate me.
Some hitting. Roll right into the 4th of July. America's 250th birthday.
And that's why I kind of feel partly responsible to run. Like, we're never going to run in the Mattapoisett Road Race again. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing on the 250, but it's kind of torturing yourself at the same time.
You say never again.
Never on the 250.
But true, never on the 250. Well, I guess we haven't really what if we enjoy this?
The training has not led me to believe that.
I agree. 1-2. Called strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Wade Walton, and there's 2 gone in the 4th. Wade Walton making really, really quick work of this Braves order here in the 4th.
Yeah, quick work, and we will not be quick tomorrow. But Wade Walton has been on it and just painting the zone over and over and over again. Glad to see him getting in this groove. If he can get one more out here, go to 5 innings, that would be a season high for him, and he's really looked sharp tonight.
2 hits apiece between Bourne and Wareham. One for the Braves is Matt Bolton. There's at a first pitch strike. The bottom third, 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Walton's ahead, 0-1.
So I think tonight, just to wrap up our conversation, we're going for a carb load, right? A big meal, big dinner. I still don't think it's going to help us.
No. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of a lost cause. But nonetheless, we'll be back to report tomorrow.
And we'll have next home broadcast, we will get a graphic up of everyone's final scores and show you where we ended up.
Oh, no, please.
I fear that you and I are going to be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, probably. Find that likely as the groans come in from our production staff.
I'm more worried than they are. They really have nothing to be worried about. The bar is absurdly low.
Extremely. 2-1 the count right now on Bolton. One from the windup, grounded right side and foul. 2 balls and strikes.
Again, I'd be happy with, as pathetic as it sounds, under an hour. It's going to be 90 degrees with humidity.
And you don't want to shoot too high. You know what they say about
low
average?
Expectations.
If you're average all the time, then when you're great, people are surprised. But if you're great and you're average in the big moments, you're a disappointment. Wade Walton, not a disappointment. Strikes out the side. That's now 4 batters punched out in a row for Wade Walton. 3, 4, 5 hitters for Bourne. No easy task, but Wade Walton makes quick work of them. To the home half, Connor Cuff, Tony Lira, and Katie Lum due up for the Gatemen here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Wareham trying to strike first here on the 3rd of July. They'll send the 5, 6, 7 hitters to the plate. Connor Cuff, Tony Lira, and Katie Lum. Lefty, righty, righty here at Spillane Field. We welcome you back with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. Dan, it's a Wareham pitching staff that's gotten a great start out of Wade Walton. Now the offense trying to follow suit.
got to try and build on it, and you see it last year when the Gatemen and the Braves had those back-to-back losses. The pitching wasn't amazing for Wareham. They got outscored in those games 4-3 and 5-2, so not the best work, but today Wade Walton has been spectacular. And Adam, I think we've really seen a resurgence, I should say, from this starting pitching staff. The first 2 weeks not great, but since then, everyone's really been on it over their last few starts.
Yeah, Wade Walton especially is a guy that his first start, not how he would have liked it to go against Hyannis, went just 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, and a couple of walks. Since then, though, has started, still gave up 6 hits in his second start, but didn't walk a batter, struck out 9. Last time out, got into the game as deep as he's gone this summer and only allowed 2 earned with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch from the Bourne starter, Jaden Alba. This is outside, 1-0, against Connor Cuff, still in his debut with the Gatemen. Bringing another lefty bat to the table for Wareham manager Ryan Smythe. 1 of 4 slotted in today. 1-0. Ranked deep right field. Cooper Williams looks up, and that ball is gone. Connor Cuff in his debut with the Gatemen. It takes him just 2 at-bats to touch them all, and the Gatemen strike first for the first time at Spillane Field this summer. 1-0, Wareham over Bourne.
Well, it's kind of funny. This past season, Connor Cuff had just 1 double and 16 home runs, so he was a guy that just loved to barrel the ball. Absolutely rips one into right field here. You knew that off the bat was gone, and you look for guys who have generated power that Wareham is looking for in this order. Connor Cuff is the one that stands out for you. Can't really have a better debut than that.
So now Tony Lira set to step in the box. The lead. Right on right. Breaking ball, called a strike. Now we see how Alba tries to respond after giving up the leadoff home run. Lira was hit by a pitch last time up, and Alba had started to flirt with a little bit of damage. His last 2 innings, Wareham put 2 on in each of the frames, but couldn't scratch one across. Now we'll see if Connor Cuff's long ball can start to reinvigorate this lineup up and down.
Well, Alba was, like you said, just flirting with trouble the past 2 innings with 2 runners left on, and finally someone broke through for Wareham.
0-2, check swing, the appeal down. He did not.
And this team has had a lot of time together now over the last couple of days. Benway Day yesterday, had a team movie night here last night at Spillane Field, and then this morning getting to meet a couple of former Gatemen. It's been a lot of time together, a lot of bonding. That's what you need to see from Connor Cuff, start to bring this group together.
1-2, cut on and miss, drop third strike, the throw down to first in time. So good bounce back from Jaden Alba after giving up the home run from Connor Cuff, first of the summer. And it brings up Cade Elam after the strikeout from Lira.
And nice job to respond there from Alba. After giving up the solo shot, Wareham was kind of the victim of that last game. They let up a couple of solo home runs, one to start off an inning, just put them behind and made it hard to come back.
Right on right to Alba. Out of the windup, his pitch misses inside. It's been a very heavy dosage of the breaking ball from Jaden Alba. Even with Connor Cuff's home run, hasn't been afraid going to secondary pitches. 1-0. Grounded. Over to third. Caraway takes a couple of steps back, a long throw, and it's in time to retire Elam. Back-to-back hitters gone down after giving up the home run from Jaden Alba. There's 2 away in the 4th.
And really, if you can get through 4 innings, giving up just 1 run, you'll take that all day. If you're Bourne and Alba, you know that this is a lineup that will wake up at some point. I mean, they trailed 8-0 against Hyannis in the bottom half of the 7th a couple of days ago and came all the way back to make that a game.
Still nobody up and loosening for the Gatemen bullpen, so you have to imagine it'll be Wade Walton for the 5th. First pitch to Henry DeGiorgio misses outside. Wade Walton currently has thrown 56 pitches. Jaden Alba has surpassed that in this inning. His 60th comes now from the windup. This is inside 91-mile-per-hour four-seamer. And Giorgio ahead 2-0. Giorgio made good contact against Alba the first time these two met. Lined out to the right fielder to strand a threat. Gatemen had 2 on in the second. Giorgio trying to find the outfield grass this time around. 2-0 with 2 away. Breaking ball grounded right side, and he does find the outfield grass. Gets past Schaff at second, and a 2-out single from Henry DeGiorgio. Now the second hit of the inning, given up by Jaden Alba.
Been hitting, really, as of late for Wareham. Now 4 games in a row. Broke his 0 for 6 last game, now back-to-back games where he's had a single. So he's just been producing at the bottom of the order for Wareham. Tosses the baton to Groen, another guy. Started off on the right foot for the Gatemen.
Yeah, it's been a positive inning for Wareham guys making their debuts. First pitch, Giorgio takes off. The throw down, skips off the glove of Schaff into center field. DeGiorgio goes corner to corner. He's in standing up. And some heads-up base running from the shortstop out of Northeastern. And now the Gatemen try and pad their lead, and that opportunity just 90 feet away.
You love that. Love the aggression to try and steal the bag in the first place and then take the free 90. Turns into a nice RBI opportunity for a hard hitter in Groen.
Yeah, another RBI came from the other Gateman making his debut. That was Connor Cuff. Led this inning with a solo home run. The 2-0. Called strike. 2-1 the count now. Groen had a single to lead things off in the third. Now digs in for the second consecutive time. Still ahead in the count, 2-1. Alba trying to strand the runner on third. The pitch, breaking ball, clobbered. Center field. Stutzer goes back at the track, and he stumbles around first. Groen on the way to second. He's in standing up. And an RBI double from Carter Groen. 2 Wareham hitters making their debut come to the plate in the fourth inning. 2 RBIs. Gatemen have a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the fourth.
That pitch was hit to the longest and deepest part of the entire ballpark. Skipped off the wall. Seemed like Stutzer might have had a chance on it. He was just tracking the ball all the way to the wall before it eventually dropped. But power hitting here in this fourth from Cuff and Groen, really what this Wareham order has been lacking.
A 2-out hit. Nice rally from the Gatemen here. Talk about situational hitting, selling in this frame. Now the first pitch to Jason Wax. Tapped foul. 0-1. Another chance for a Wareham hitter to pick up an RBI. Try and extend this frame. Give the Gatemen a crooked number. 2-0 Wareham. Aiden Alba started his game with 3 straight scoreless innings. Entered tonight with a sub-1 ERA, 0.75. 0-1. Breaking ball outside. 1-1 the count on Wax. Steps in the left side for the third time tonight, but gets put one in play. 2 walks against Carter Alba. 1-1. Put away, an easy take for Wax. And his first walk of the day was on 4 pitches, his second on 5. Now he's ahead 2-1. Really has been a pretty easy day for Wax. Two 2-1. Ball to strike, just catches the outside corner. And now the count level, so Wax goes into protect mode in a 2-2 count with 2 away. Carter Groen on second after the RBI double. Gave Wareham the 2-0 lead after the solo home run from Connor Cuff. Pitch. Inside, skips away from Costello, rolls to the backstop. Groen advances to third, and a full count on Wax. Wareham with another run just 90 feet away once again.
Another chance for a 2-out RBI, and the past 2 hits have come with 2 outs. DeGiorgio with the single, and then Groen obviously knocked him home. Wax, a guy who's seen a lot of pitches here. He's going to be ready to swing if he likes one.
Full count on Wax. Still yet to put a ball in play today. Alba stares in, shakes off a couple of suggestions. Now 3. Finally comes set on the 4th. Payoff with a runner on 3rd. In the dirt, ball 4. Wax will have his 3rd free pass of the day, and Jaden Alba has really let this inning spiral. That's his 3rd free pass issued, all 3 to Jason Wax.
You wonder if he's going to be pulled out of the game soon, as we see a mound visit coming here for Bourne, as they want to talk things over. Alba has really been starting to show signs of tiring the last 2 innings, and it's finally getting to him here.
Bigelow, the pitching coach, out on the mound for Bourne. Jaden Alba walked just 2 guys in 5 innings versus Brewster. That was in his last start. And outside of Jason Wax, he's been really good.
Certainly. And
at least when it comes to command.
Command-wise, yes, but at the same time, the Wareham hitters have started to pick up on what he's been throwing down the second time through the order and really starting to get to him.
So RJ Hamilton, who has yet to get the best of Alba. He's 0 for 2 today, the center fielder from Duke. Runners on the corners. Saw this situation earlier. Hamilton was on first, took second without a throw. We'll see if Wax does the same. Alba kept Hamilton extremely honest, and this time tries to do the same, a pickoff move over to first. Threw over to first when Hamilton was aboard 8 or 9 times. Alba comes set. A long pause, keeping Wax on first, now goes home. Check swing. Did Hamilton go? No, he didn't. Loaded up, started to offer at it, but held back. Keith Peterson says he did not, and instead it's just ball 1.
Nice job by Hamilton. Was tasked to put a bunt down last time out. Ended up grounding out over to the right side. Looking for some good fight for him here.
Throw in on 3rd, Wax on 1st, and another check over there. Alba has surpassed the 70 pitch mark. Cost 71 this evening, 38 for strikes. Fired 3 straight scoreless innings. Wareham has already tacked on 2, trying to add to it. Hamilton takes up and in. Balls, no strikes. Activity in the Bourne bullpen. Alba trying to get through this 4th inning without another run. Wade Walton set to get the 5th. Pitching with some run support, a rarity for Gatemen starters this summer. The 2-0. Got on and missed. Hamilton trying to provide a little bit more for Walton. They struck out 4 consecutive hitters, dating back to the 3rd inning.
He's been sitting for a while now, this bottom half.
Hamilton trying to give him some more rest. 2-1. Foul tipped into the mid of Costello. Sort of find that balance, and I assume figure it out sooner rather than later if Wade Walton's rest comes back to bite him. But exactly right, Dan. He has been in that 3rd base dugout a long time. Count even at 2-2. Hamilton attempts to stay alive. The pitch. Ryder misses outside. Wax takes off for 2nd, a delayed steal, but once again, Costello does not throw down. Wareham with a pair in scoring position and a full count on R.J. Hamilton.
Huge pitch here, and really, Wax was going to be on the move anyway if he didn't take it there in the full count with 2 outs. So same scenario here for both Hamilton and Alba.
Rowan with the RBI double on 3rd. Wax with the walk over on 2nd. The 3-2 comes home. Fly ball, deep right field. Cooper Williams back, camps under it, and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Gatemen send 7 to the plate and score a couple of runs. It's Wareham with a 2-0 lead through 4 here at Spillane Field. And Dan,
we talked about maybe a day off yesterday with a chance to reset, and it feels like the Gatemen have done that. It was a day yesterday that they could have really started to bond together. And when we talk about hitting being contagious, right now they've got the bug, and you think that it might come back to what they did yesterday.
So we take a look at it here. The Gatemen at Fenway Park. Everyone getting to go up there, all 10 teams for Cape League Day at Fenway Park, and it was a really nice event. The guys getting to take batting practice on the field, getting to be immersed in front of a bunch of MLB scouts. Really was a fun time, and great for these guys just to be in a relaxed environment, throwing the ball around, no pressure, just being buddies in America's most beloved ballpark.
It did, just in this video alone, you see a ton of smiles. And you're not supposed to smile when you start 3-13, but a day like that can give you the chance to reset and enjoy baseball for what it is.
Certainly.
And then get back out there today and flush these first 16 games. We've talked about it time and time again. While Wareham has had a nearly disastrous start, I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It's been a lot of bad and not a ton of good. They're far from out of it. I mean, they're 2 wins behind Katuitt for that final playoff spot.
Exactly that. I mean, if you just start stacking up the wins, not even that, but just play competitive where you're not, putting up another 3-13 stretch, you're going to be in this race for the postseason. It's not hard to make the Cape League playoffs, and once you're in, all you have to do is make a run.
Yeah.
It's in front of you.
It's all about getting hot at the right time. Bourne knows that just as well as anyone. Last year, a 5-9-1 start to their season, and they went on to win their second straight championship.
Shows you exactly why June is really not that consequential in the entire thing.
Wade Walton back to work for the Gatemen. Mark Quattrani, Brent Carraway, and John Cooper Williams. First pitch to Quattrani is a called strike. I've said it before today.
We went over it before the game. You and I practiced it together, but that cue getting to you a little bit.
Quattrani grounds it to the shortstop DeGiorgio. Throws on to first, and Wade Walton in his 5th inning of work needs just 2 pitches to retire the DH from Notre Dame.
Clearly that sit not affecting him because he's looked sharp through one batter. A nice play by DeGiorgio. Gets it over to first, and now for Wade Walton, that is a lot of batters in a row retired, the number up to 7.
So Trent Carraway, through the only walk from Wade Walton's day, digs it now. Comes set. Out on and miss. Not a full swing from Carraway, but certainly crossed the line, and the count 0-1.
Carraway walked last time against Walton. Kind of knows where he's going to navigate here, but Walton in such a groove right now.
Trying to continue it. 0-2, called a strike, outside corner. 81-mile-per-hour curveball drops right in the zone. Carraway, the rising senior, headed to LSU. Going to be teammates with Wareham right fielder Jason Wax. He lines one to the left fielder this time, drops in front of Rowan. And a 1-out single for Trent Carraway. He's stepped up 2 times, hasn't been retired yet. Braves have a base runner in the top of the 5th.
That's their first hit since the 2nd, so they kind of needed to break up this spell here for Walton, where he had been in such a flow. I'm interested to see how he responds now to his first bit of traffic in a long time.
Carraway's first hit since June 29th. 5 days ago now. He's over on first. John Cooper Williams. First pitch, squares to bunt. Lays it down. Wilt Walton down to the seat of his pants. And Cooper Williams safe. Back-to-back singles. One a line drive. The other one a bunt single. But nonetheless, Bourne has 2 on and just 1 out.
That's the way to do it. No one was really expecting bunt already with 1 out on the board, but it's perfectly placed by Williams. He's got plenty of speed. Puts it in a great spot, and now some real danger for Wade Walton, and still no arm going in the Wareham bullpen.
And trusting Walton to get through this 5th inning right now. Give it to the bats to try and continue to pad this lead. The 9th inning, John Stutzer, center fielder from Florida State. 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Walton with 6 strikeouts today. First pitch, fastball away from the zone. On deck is Blake Schaff, the leadoff man for Bourne. 0 for 2 today. The Braves threatening for really the first time tonight. 1-0. Low. 2 balls, no strikes.
You knew with a lineup like this, it was just a matter of time till they were going to get their shot. It's coming here in the 5th as we see a mound visit from pitching coach Eric Luxus to go and talk things over with Wade Walton. But you give up back-to-back singles. You're going against the 9-hole hitter in Stutzer. You don't want to let him aboard, obviously, but the top of the order for Bourne is so strong. 3rd time through as well for Walton.
Yeah.
Not really the position you want to be in.
Yeah, Stutzer would be the last hitter in the 2nd trip through the order for Wade Walton. For Bourne, if you're Eric Luxus right now, you have to talk about, hey, this is your 9th hitter. Attack him. You've already struck him out once. You're behind in a 2-ball, no-strike count, but don't be afraid. He's already worked a couple of ground outs. If you're Wade Walton, you've pitched to 5 ground outs today in 5 innings. There's no reason why this can't be your 6th. In the middle of the infield has done a really nice job. Try and get the bottom of the zone, get Stutzer to roll over on one, get out of the inning unscathed. The Bourne lineup that ranks atop the Cape League in batting average. 2-0. Ground ball, high chopper to 3rd. Cuff can't corral. On the transfer, lost a hold of it. And now Bourne has the bases loaded in the top of the 5th.
That was going to be a tough play regardless for Cuff. It was a very high chopper. Just has trouble gloving it. Probably would have gotten that lead runner over there at 2nd. Would have been tough to go to 1st for 2, but an unfortunate break there for Wareham, and now you have to go against a brilliant leadoff hitter.
Blake Schaff, the 2nd baseman from Wake Forest, on a 5-game hit streak, but he's 0 for 2 today. First pitch. Swung on, skied into deep right field. Wax on the move, looks up, it's off the wall. 1 run in. 2 runs come across. Cade Elam's throw not in time. It's a 2 RBI double from Blake Schaff. 6 games in a row with a hit, and we are leveled at 2 apiece in the top of the 5th.
Well, there you go. You knew Schaff was going to come into this game and wreak some havoc at some point. He had an RBI yesterday, and first pitch he sees from Walton, he was ready for it. Hits it to the deepest part of the park, into that right center gap. Wax nor Hamilton had a play on it, skipped off the wall, and that's how you tie up the game in one swing if you're Bourne.
Braves still with a threat. 2 in scoring position, and Rustin Rigdon to the plate. Also 0 for 2 today. We saw how Blake Schaff ended that stretch. First pitch, back swing, Rigdon offered. Not a bad pitch from Walton. Bottom 3rd of the zone. Schaff just squared up on it. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Popped foul, left side, and Walton works himself ahead in the count. 0-2.
And interesting here, Wareham does have an arm starting to get going out there in the bullpen as of right now. The leash on Wade Walton is getting to an interesting point. You can let it ride, but certainly crunch time for him in this start.
1-1. Hit up the middle, drops, and DeGiorgio goes to 1st. Tried to look home, but run comes in. Stutzer sprints in from 3rd, and Bourne has the lead. So after Wade Walton got to pitch with some run support, that terminated rather quickly.
And Stutzer coming home will not be earned on Wade Walton's line, as it was an error over at 3rd by Cuff, officially scored. But that, a nice job by Rigdon just to put the ball in play. And the Braves, they're such a resilient team, immediately take the lead after Wareham throws the first punch.
Bourne 5 consecutive games with 3 or more runs now after that RBI ground out from Rigdon. First pitch to Andrew Costello, misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Costello 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Costello leads the Braves in batting average, swings it at a .367 clip.
Walton works around him now. 2 balls, no strikes. Arm up and warming in the Gatemen bullpen. That's Connor Mohan. Starting to stretch and toss. Walton collects himself. Trying to get out of the inning. Won't this time around. 3 balls and no strikes now on the 3rd hitting Costello. He's tied for the league lead in hits across the Cape. It is 19th in the 1st inning. 3-0. Inside, 4-pitch walk, and we'll see if that does it for Wade Walton's day. Eric Luxus takes a look
Now batting the first baseman.
down the left field line. How is Connor Mohan doing? And Luxus out of the dugout. The Wade Walton pitches an excellent first 4 innings, but Bourne, his 3rd trip to the order, start to dismantle the righty starter from High Point. Fist bumps on the way out. He departs with 2 aboard, and the Wareham Gatemen trailing 3-2. We'll step aside. Connor Mohan to the hill when we return on Cape League TV.
Mediumship services to our area. She offers private.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation.
A very good start to the day for Wade Walton. 73 pitches as we look at some of his strikeouts. And Dan, for Wade Walton, first 2 times through the order, a lot of good stuff. 3rd time, not so much.
Just left some pitches over the plate that Bourne was ready for the 3rd time around. Maneuvered so well and came into this 5th with nothing across and struck out the side in that 4th. But it all kind of fell apart after getting the first out here in the 5th. And Connor Mohan on to relieve him, an arm that started in this rotation for Wareham in the first couple of weeks, but now has made the transition into the bullpen. And over his last 2 appearances, he's been really good. Has not let up an earned run, and that's over 2 1/3. Looking for that same length here. He's been put in late game situations the last couple of times around, this time being tasked with being a middle reliever.
Yeah, pitched the 10th against Orleans. That was his last appearance against the Firebirds. Picked up the loss in that despite not giving up an earned run.
That was a tough situation for him, too. He came in with the ghost runner at 2nd, and Wareham put a 0 on the board in the top half of the 10th, so he could only pitch for a tie.
So the Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change is Connor Mohan. After Wade Walton's day is done, exits with 2 on and 2 outs. First pitch to the cleanup man, Luke Costello, trying to break this game open. Wareham had a 2-0 lead going into the top of the 5th. The Braves have responded with 3 runs nearly instantly. Pitch tapped foul, and Costello trying to nail down the timing of Connor Mohan. Like you just said, Dan, has been much better in a bullpen capacity than where he was at the start of the year as one of the guys in the rotation for the Gatemen. 0-1. Misses inside, gets away from Clark. Each runner advances to 90 feet. That one gets away from Mohan, and now the count level, a ball and a strike. And you're from Wake Forest with a chance to really come through here. Guy that leads the Cape League in doubles. An extra base hit would score a pair and give Bourne extended lead.
Going against his future teammate after Mohan's commitment.
Mohan out of the transfer portal from Texas Tech on his way to Wake Forest. 1-1. Breaking ball called a strike. Well placed from Connor Mohan, and now the count 1-2. Costello on second and Schaff on third. 1-2. Ball misses low. Count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield playing Costello straight up. Brother over there on second after drawing the walk. Final batter that Wade Walton faced. This ball is smoked. Left the field, and that one's down for extra bases. Costello makes the turn, drives in his brother and Schaff, and the Braves have a 5-2 lead. 7th double of the summer for Luke Costello. This one drives in a pair. Bourne has a 3-run edge.
Yikes. It's kind of what Wareham did last inning with 2 outs. Henry DeGiorgio singles, and then Carter Groen brings him in with the RBI double with 2 outs. That time, that pitch is just left over the middle half, and ready to go on that one is Costello. He's got so much pop in that bat. Digs down a little bit near the bottom rail for it, and drives in 2 runs.
So Wade Walton's line officially complete. First pitch to Matt Bolton. 9th hitter of the inning that Bourne has sent to the plate. Already plated 5 runs. So Walton goes 4 2/3, surrenders 5 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned, and all 5 coming in the 5th inning. Pitch from Mohan. Grounded foul right side.
It's just brutal break.
2 walks and 6 strikeouts to finish up Walton's line.
He was so amazing through the first 4, too. Struck out the side, had retired 8 hitters in a row coming into this inning, and then just goes by the wayside.
But Luke Costello, after that RBI double off of Connor Mohan, picked up his 13th and 14th RBI. Right now, the pitch, this is outside. A 2-ball, no-strike count on Matt Bolton, who ended the 4th inning striking out. It was the 4th consecutive strikeout from Wade Walton. And then after the Gatemen sent 7 to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, Walton was in that dugout for a long time. Lost a little bit of his stuff.
And he came into this inning and got the first out. Everything seemed business as usual.
2-2 the count. Mohan stares in. Pitch. Over, right side, and foul. So neither of those first 2 runs were Connor Mohan's responsibility, but the one on second, and Costello is. That would go down on his line, and you talked about a couple of consecutive days without an earned run, a couple of appearances for Mohan. Trying to continue that here, but needs to retire Matt Bolton. And he does. Cut on and missed. Levi Clark on the drop 3rd strike. Throws down to first. It's in time, and Bolton down on strikes for the 2nd consecutive time. But out before Bourne sends 9 to the plate and scores 5 runs. They've got a 5-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 5th. 3-4-5 due up for the Gatemen, trying to get it right back on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Wareham trailing Bourne 5-2 as we've hit the bottom of the fifth. And when you look at these two sides, Bourne just played Brewster on the 30th of June and then took on Wareham. And Brewster got the best of both of them. Right now, Bourne with the edge over Wareham in the first meeting between these two sides.
And a Brewster team that is highly skilled so far this season. They're 10-5-1 and are on a 2-game winning streak because of the back-to-back wins against these two sides, respectively. What Brewster did so well is they got up first and never allowed Wareham and Bourne to really come back in the game. Now, what Wareham needs to do is come back against Bourne. I mean, you threw the first punch in this game. Now you got a 5-spot thrown on you. What do you have here in the bottom of the fifth?
Yeah, the bright side for the Whitecaps, or at least for the Gatemen today, was the Whitecaps totaled 11 hits on the Braves. So Wareham trying to have similar success offensively. Jaden Alba's day is done. The starter for Bourne, it's another Alyssa Wadling intuitive pitching change. And Alba goes 4 innings, gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Entered today with a .75 ERA, departs with a 1.69. And Dan Shalam, he gives way for the right-hander out of Louisville, Brandon Shannon.
Shannon pitching in 31 1/3 this past season with Louisville, 36 strikeouts. A guy who loves his fastball. Throws it over 50% of the time, and it tops out at 98 miles an hour. He's going to look to overpower these Wareham hitters.
He's facing the heart of the Gatemen order. Nate Nowitzki, Levi Clark, and Connor Cuff due up. First pitch, called a strike, outer third. 0-1. Bannon starts his day with a first pitch strike. 6'4", 185-pounder. Henry, Illinois. Staying in the Midwest to play his collegiate baseball. Another one on the inside corner. Couple of Louisville arms on this Wareham pitching staff. Jake Schweitzer and Ty Stark now watching their college teammate go to work. The 0-2 count from the windup. Cut on and missed. Nowitzki down on strikes for the second time today, and it's an excellent start from Brandon Shannon. That time dials up a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, and there's one away.
3 pitches, too. I mean, that was nasty. If he's going to come in and do that to all the hitters in this Wareham lineup, it's going to be a long day.
And Dan, you said looks to overpower Wareham hitters. I would say mission accomplished that time around against Nate Nowitzki. Trying to do the same to Levi Clark. Another fastball, this one at 98. Misses outside, 1-0. Clark at 0 for 2 day with a couple of flyouts. 1-0. This time goes breaking ball and locates the outside corner, 1-1.
And it's the slider right there. That's the primary off-speed pitch. Tops out at 84. Makes it really tough for hitters when they're seeing a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Goes fastball this time, and Clark gets under it and skies it out of play to the left side.
Now, I think I'm going to guess that Shannon's going to go slider this time after it looked like Clark was ready for the fastball. And it's just so hard for these hitters when you have a guy throwing at this velocity, especially when you're a righty. So tough.
The fastball from Alba, much different. 1-2, hit up the middle, down for extra bases. Clark takes the turnaround first, and instead he stops. Nice job by the center fielder, John Stutzer, to cut it off in the gap. Got over there quickly, but Levi Clark gets a hold of it, and the Gatemen have a 1-out base runner.
Nice piece right there. Just beats him to the spot, catches up with the speed. Obviously, Clark, a guy who's used to seeing very high-level fastballs in the SEC, passes the baton over to Connor Cuff, who has a home run in this game.
So Connor Cuff started this game scoring with the solo shot in the bottom of the 4th. Now facing the reliever, Shannon. First pitch, grounds it, foul off his leg, and the count now, no balls and 1 strike.
That's awesome right there from just Connor Cuff to step into the box, and be ready to swing against Brandon Shannon after having that home run. He was ready to go and just missed it a little bit, but you could tell he's on track right here, certainly feeling himself in his Gatemen debut.
Yeah, continuing to try and stay aggressive. The 0-1 looks at it down the middle. That first pitch, he was ready to swing, but Shannon tested him. It was middle, and that one in a similar spot. So Cuff behind 0-2. Runner on first. The offering. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cuff, a lefty bat for the Gatemen. They're in a 5-2 game after Bourne played at 5 in the top half of this inning. G-Men sent 7 to the plate in the 4th. Grounds 1 foul. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
And I like the approach here from Cuff. You talk about him being a lefty. Wareham has a lot more options now, flexibility-wise, in the lineup. They go left, right, left to start off this game. First time this season that they've been able to stack the order like that.
Trying to get to a Bourne bullpen. 1-2 is flied foul. But as a staff, these relievers have been really good for Bourne. A 3.22 ERA. Good for second in the league, and the only team they trail, Dan, is the YD Red Sox, who are off to a 15-1 start. 1-2. Flared left side, down for a base hit. Brandon Shannon goes slider, and Cuff punches it to the opposite way. 2 men aboard for the Wareham Gatemen in the bottom of the 5th.
Loving everything that I'm seeing from Cuff so far in his debut as a Gateman. Had the blast earlier. This time simplifies his swing and just flares the ball into left field. We talk about what's the response going to be from Wareham. How do you punch back? This is exactly it. Back-to-back base hits and set up Tony Lira.
They were 0 for 1 today, was hit by a pitch and struck out against the starter Alba. Now facing Brandon Shannon, who deals a first pitch breaking ball. Ails away from Lira, and he cuts and misses.
This is a big spot. Even if you don't get it all back here in this bottom half of the 5th, put up a run, maybe 2. Get yourself back into this game and just chip away.
Yeah, the Gatemen showing life offensively. Already 7 hits today. The 0-1 outside. 1-1 the count. And for Wareham, you want the results. And results used to be good at bats. Today they're hits. Now the next step is turning them into runs. They trail 5-2. They're trying to bring home a run. Pops it up on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball, and the count now 1-2. Similar spot to where Connor Cuff was.
And he did a great job, battled, and got the base hit. And you mentioned, kind of the stakes becoming higher for this team. It's the right time for it to become those higher stakes. We're in July. The baseball now matters. The results matter. This team is starting to wake up.
1-2. Grounded left side and foul. Levi Clark on second. Connor Cuff on the move from first. Still a pitcher's advantage for Brandon Shannon. Tossed 31 1/3 innings with the Cardinals this spring. They'd give up 31 walks. Right now, command not the issue. Wareham just getting good pieces. Levi Clark and Connor Cuff both with hits. Lira steps back in. And comes set to a board. And 1 out. Outside, skips up. Costello has to retrieve. Both runners very reactive. Take the extra base. Now 2 in scoring position and a 2-2 count.
And it's not been Costello's best day behind the plate. He struggled with a couple of those kinds of balls, but the stakes now become higher for Tony Lira. You can make this a 1-run game with a base hit. Do anything possible to get aboard here. Just pass the baton on.
2-2. Shannon deals. Grounded foul. Lira will see a 7th pitch in this at-bat. And 19 pitches, 15 have been for strikes so far. So we talked about that command being an issue this spring. Right now, not the case. Gatemen 1 for 5 in scoring position today. They were trying to deliver that second hit. 2-2. This is inside. Easy take for Tony Lira, and the count runs full.
And he's a guy you want in this position. 4 RBIs already on the season. Also got plenty of walks in there. Such a disciplined hitter. Going to really work for it here.
Wareham lineup that ranks dead last in the Cape League in runs per game. 3-2 gets away from Costello. Off the backstop quickly. Costello gets it. And Cuff, who took a sizable lead off of second. I think he expected Levi Clark to go, but he doesn't get picked off. Wareham has the bases loaded and just 1 out for Cade Elam, who's 1 for 2 today.
Elam has been swinging such a hot bat. 5 straight games for him where he's had a hit. Honestly, the guy that you want up here in this scenario. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Do anything possible. Put a ball right side into the outfield. Just try and get some of that back.
7th walk of the summer for Shannon. First pitch to Cade Elam. Old strike. Skips in and out of the glove of Costello. Strike 1 for Cade Elam, the second baseman from Louisville, going up against his college teammate. Nobody knows Brandon Shannon on this Wareham team better than Cade Elam. The 0-1. Skied right side, hooking foul and out of play. So Elam behind 0-2. Connor Cuff was behind 1-2. Tony Lira was behind 1-2. Both reached base for the Gatemen. Cade Elam now in another pitcher's advantage, trying to battle back and do the same. Tying run on base in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2. Grounded right side, a chance for 2, but instead it skips past the glove of Schaff. 1 run is in. The throw from right is way offline, and Cade Elam in an 0-2 count delivers a 2 RBI single. The Gatemen have trimmed the lead to just 1 in the bottom of the 5th.
What a response and what a piece of hitting there from Cade Elam. Just slaps the ball through the hole. It was going to be a tough play all the way for Costello. He can't get it. Williams struggles with it a little bit. Fires in way up the line and tie up this game right here now if you're Wareham with Henry DeGiorgio at the plate.
And this is a similar set of circumstances for Wareham. Runners on the corners. Both times we've seen the Gatemen try and steal second. First pitch to DeGiorgio. They do this time. He lays down the bunt. It takes Costello out. He throws down to first. Run comes in. Wareham's tied it. Sacrifice bunt from Henry DeGiorgio laid to perfection. Cade Elam over to second. There's 2 away, but the Gatemen with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. They've tied this game right back up.
There you go. Brand new ball game now. Second sack bunt of the summer for Wareham, and it was perfectly placed by DeGiorgio. Really, the Bourne infield wasn't that ready for it. Just a nice job of bringing the runner home. It's the equivalent of a sac fly, but one heck of a response here from the Gatemen.
So just 1 on, 2 away. Right on right, first pitch to Carter Groen. Is a cold strike at the bottom rail, 0-1.
We've seen them be in this position so many times this season where they just kind of roll over after another team puts up a big number. This has been a huge response.
Second RBI of the summer for Henry DeGiorgio. The 0-1 cut on and miss. Once again, Shannon ahead, but 3 hitters in a row that have been in those 2-strike counts, Dan, have battled back to reach base and extend this inning.
Expect anything less here from Groen.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chases the high heat, but Wareham gets 3 right back. There's been 10 combined runs in the last 3 half innings. What does the top of the 6th have in store? Well, don't go anywhere. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 due up for the Braves here on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come Visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Top of the sixth, and a good response from the Gatemen in the bottom of the fifth. Scored 3 runs, 2 off of that RBI single from Cade Elam. Tied things right back up, and Henry DeGiorgio with the sac bunt. Just the second sacrifice bunt of the summer for the Gatemen, but it tied this game up at 5. Now Connor Mohan back to work for the Gatemen. The reliever winds and fires a first pitch fastball, a called strike. Got on and missed at 92 to Mark Quattrani, the designated hitter out of Notre Dame. Mohan began the summer as a starter, moved into a relief role. Right now with a clean inning. Good one. Swing and a miss. Mohan gets himself ahead, 0-2 against the DH. That's 0 for 2 today. Grounded into a double play in the second. Another rollover. The shortstop in the fifth. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Connor Mohan. And Mark Quattrani is 0 for 3 today. 1 gone in the top of the sixth.
And Mohan gets to walk into this game now with everything tied up. It's basically a fresh start for him, and he does a nice job of getting the first out in what has been a back-and-forth frenzy here over the last 2 innings.
Trent Carraway, unlike Mark Quattrani, has not been retired today. Walked in single. First pitch he sees. Takes high. Count 1-0. Carraway, the rising senior from LSU. Facing starter, reliever Mohan rather. First time today. Loads up again, and it's another ball. Now 2-0. Carraway, such a tough out to get. Leads this Bourne team with 13 walks. The luxury to have him batting 7th. Guy that sees that many pitches, that tough to retire. There's it foul. Count 2-1. That's what you get with this Bourne lineup. And it's a team that the Cape League in batting average. And Carraway exemplifies that as good as anyone. 2-1 from Mohan. Guy to right side and out of play. And back even in the count 2-2.
Nice job here from Mohan to start off this sixth as he came into the game last inning and just got hit around a little bit to start off, found his footing. But just the response you want here from Connor Mohan.
Up the double to Luke Costello that scored a couple of runs, but they were both Wade Walton's runners that Mohan inherited. Another strikeout, 3 in a row from Connor Mohan. This time he freezes Trent Carraway, and look at that. A nasty off speed that gets him right on the inside edge, and there's now 2 down in the 6th.
A great piece of pitching right there from Connor Mohan. Just drops the breaker in there. No chance for Carraway.
So John Cooper Williams, right fielder from Kennesaw State, trying to extend the inning. Takes a first pitch fastball outside, 1-0. Connor Mohan. A lot of guys on this Wareham team into the transfer portal. Mohan now out of it, pitching with that weight lifted off of his shoulders. We saw it with Andrew Toshi a couple of days ago after committing to South Carolina. Now Mohan trying to have a similar outing. Toshi was exceptional the Gatemen the other night against Orleans. Right now, the 1-1 on Williams. Grounded foul. Another fastball from Mohan. He's ahead in the count 1-2, trying to strike out his fourth consecutive batter. Wade Walton did it in the third and fourth inning. But after that, the fifth, Bourne really got to him. The 1-2. Pulled strike three. A nasty breaking ball that dips on the outside corner and makes John Cooper Williams stare at it for another strikeout. Fourth of the day for Connor Mohan through 4 batters. We head to the bottom of the 6th. When we return, top of the order for the Gatemen due up, trying to take the lead right back against the reliever, Brandon Williams.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom of the 6th, that's Spillane Field. Brandon Shannon back to work for the Bourne Brave. He'll face the 1-2-3 hitters for the Gatemen that, Dan, you see it right there, are still just trying to find their footing. A win today, though, to start out July could go a long way.
Certainly could. I mean, again, you're only 3 games off of Katuitt right now and 3 wins off of Bourne. So it can't be described how important this game is, but I love the way that Wareham has played to start the day.
And his first pitch to Wax misses outside. And something that we haven't seen from Wareham this year is a ton of resilience. Today, they've showed that. Struck first, and then Bourne punched them in the mouth about as much as you could. 5 runs in the top of the 5th. Gatemen instantly responded with 3 in the home half. Strike on Wax, 1-1. But Wareham should have plenty of confidence right now against Brandon Shannon, who came in game for Jaden Alba, who threw the first 4 innings. And the 5th inning, first call out of the pen, where the Braves gave up 3 runs.
And ironically, he struck out the first hitter he faced in Nate Nowitzki.
That was one left-handed hitter facing another one now in a 1-2 count. Hit on the ground to the second baseman, Schaff. Throw on to first, as routine as it gets, and there's one away in the bottom of the 6th.
Good work there from Shannon just to recenter himself and start to get into this outing. Kind of the same type of thing we saw from Mohan. The score 0-0 really at this point.
The first time that Wax has been retired. He had walked in his previous 3 times to the plate. All 3 came against the starter Alba. First pitch to R.J. Hamilton. This is low of the zone, and the count 1-0. Hamilton searching for his first hit. He's been 0 for 3 tonight. Top 3 hitters for the Gatemen hitless. 1-0 comes home. Called a strike. 1-1, but the bottom of the order has gotten a ton of production. 2 hits from Connor Cuff, 2 from Cade Elam, 2 from Carter Groen. Guys that are hitting 5th, 7th, and 9th. One up the middle on the backhand. Leaping grab, but not in time. Blake Schaff, that was a tough play all the way. Pulled him into the outfield grass, had to throw across his body, and with a speedy guy like R.J. Hamilton, he stood really no chance.
That was a tough play to begin with, and Schaff gave it his best effort, but you're not going to beat a guy like R.J. Hamilton to the bag like that. Nice job from Hamilton, though, just to put the ball in play and leg it out.
First hit of the day for R.J. Hamilton. A base-stealing threat on first. We saw it when Jaden Alba threw over to first to keep Hamilton on the bag. He takes off right away. The throw down from Costello skips and gets into the outfield grass all the way into center. Stutzer has to come in. Hamilton goes first to third, and Wareham's go-ahead run now resides at third base after Hamilton swipes the bag and takes another off an error.
Huge RBI opportunity now, but that wasn't necessarily a wild throw, and it's one that, honestly, if Rigdon grabs it at the bag over there, there's probably 2 outs. The throw beat him over there to the bag, but he just couldn't glove it.
Right there. Right on line. Rigdon couldn't corral. Now right on left. This is inside to Nate Nowitzki. 1 RBI this summer. Trying to bring in his second run, coming off a 2-hit day against Brewster a couple of nights ago. Hamilton on third. Infield drawn in. The pitch. Hit up the middle. Dropping quickly. It's down for a base hit. Hamilton in from third. An RBI single from Nate Nowitzki. And Wareham, 4 runs unanswered. Gatemen have the lead right back. 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
This is unprecedented run production here for Wareham. This now a high for them. They haven't scored this amount of runs in 9 games' time, and the hits are just coming at the right time. It feels like hitting is contagious. You know, that's a phrase that's thrown around. It's certainly proving to be true here for the Gatemen. It's been really solid at-bats tonight, and now you're up to 10 hits.
At double digits for the Gatemen. Levi Clark coming up to the plate. Singled and scored his last time up. First pitch. Breaking ball inside. You have to start to wonder how quickly is Brandon Shannon's day coming to a close. His next pitch will be his 40th. Runner on first. Fly ball, right field, hooking towards the line, just foul. John Cooper Williams, a long run. If it was fair, could have nearly scored Nate Nowitzki, who was halfway between second and third.
Had it. Just tailed foul.
Clark now tries to straighten it out. It's a 1-1 count on Clark, who was 0 for 2 against the starter Alba, who entered today with just a .75 ERA. Wareham plated 3 earned against him in the first 4 innings. But Brandon Shannon getting rocked right now by the Gatemen lineup. Pitch inside, and Levi Clark gets rocked with a 98-mile-per-hour four-seamer, and Wareham has 2 aboard and still just 1 out in the 6th.
I think he heard you talking about the Wareham lineup getting rocked, and then he decided to put one inside. But no, just a fastball that loses a little bit of control. And obviously, Shannon's a really fast thrower. That's why Levi Clark is in pain right now. You really hope that he's okay as he starts to take off the ankle guard, but never fun to be hit with a high 90s fastball.
That Clark, the catcher today. We've seen him rotate through catching, playing first, also getting in some time in the outfield. Still really shaken up. Left side, and prompts a mound visit for Bourne. Shannon has surrendered 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned. That was the first time that Shannon has released one that's hit a Wareham hitter. Clark shakes it off, takes his trot down the first base line. He'll be met by first base coach Curtis Byrne. And the mound visit breaks, trusting Brandon Shannon to get out of this little jam. With 2 on and just 1 out, Wareham has already scored 1 in this inning.
And time to add more. Been seeing it really well. You got Connor Cuff at the plate, who has put together some really good at-bats today. Just keep going, and those at-bats came against Shannon.
Cuff 2 for 3. Solo home run in the 4th. Ingleton scored his last time up in the 5th. Still in his Wareham debut, but making a massive impact. This is against a Bourne bullpen, Dan, that ranked 2nd in the league in ERA. First call was Brandon Shannon, and Gatemen really been overpowering at the plate. That was the original objective, you said, for Shannon, to overpower hitters with his high 90s fastball. First pitch to Cuff. This one at 96. Away from the zone, and the count 1-0.
Wonder when he's going to come out of this game as well. Into the mid-40s now on the pitch count. Up there.
Cuff trying to collect his 3rd hit of the day, the 1-0. Looped, center field, dropping quickly. Stutzer comes in, it drops. Nowitzki around 3rd. He scores without a throw. A 3-hit day for Connor Cuff in his Gateman debut. Wareham pads its lead, 7-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
Wow, another just really good piece of hitting. Didn't try and do too much with it. Didn't even get all of it. I mean, it was a weakly hit fly ball, but placed it in a great spot. It gets down, and no play for Stutzer out there in center field. Nowitzki cruises home.
Clark takes the spot of Nowitzki on 2nd. Cuff moves over to 1st, where Levi Clark just was. Nowitzki comes in to score after delivering an RBI single. Wareham's 11th hit of the day. Tony Lira's first pitch. This is up and in. 1-0 on the first baseman from Arizona, who's hitless today, but has been retired just once. 4th plate appearance. Hit by a pitch. That was against Alba. Walked his last time up against Shannon. Now behind 2-0 after a couple of errant misses. One well inside, and that one got away from him. Railed into the left-handed batter's box. Andrew Costello wants to go out and talk things over with his right-hander.
Really surprised that he's still in the game as well at this point. I mean, he's led 3 straight hits and a hit by pitch. Not had his best stuff in this game.
5 runs, all 5 earned. Connor Cuff becoming a fan favorite beyond in his Wareham debut. Lira tries to keep the line moving in a 2-0 count. And out of play and the count 2-1. Even we've talked about runners in scoring position being a massive, massive weakness today, though. Wareham 4 for 10. That'll win you a lot of ball games, Dan.
Certainly will. It's been great production. 1-9.
2-1. This is skips in the dirt. Runners take off. Costello's throw down to 3rd. He's got Clark by a country mile. It's a 3-1 count on Lira, but Wareham runs into the 2nd out of the inning. I think originally both base runners thought that one was getting way further away from Andrew Costello, but a nice job by the catcher to retrieve it quickly. You see it skip off of his foot, stays in front of him, gets up, immediate throw down to 3rd. Wareham still with the runner in scoring position. Hitter's advantage for Lira. Gannon sets and deals. Grounded to the shortstop off a couple of hops. Rigdon goes to 1st. Dug out of the dirt by Luke Costello, and the side is retired, but not before Wareham plates a pair and takes a 7-5 lead. We're 2/3 of the way home, and the Gatemen have a 2-run edge. We'll step aside here on Cape League TV.
Thanks, guys. Tonight, the Wareham Gatemen honor the life of 11-year-old Madeline Itis, a local resident who tragically passed away this winter due to an avalanche incident while being on vacation with her family in Utah. Now, to honor her memory, her family launched the Forever 1111 organization. And when I spoke to her mom, Becky, she said that the name of the organization just felt right. The number 11 was Maddie's age, her day of birth. It's an angel number. It's her number in soccer. And it's one of her favorite ways to be able to make a wish at 11:11. Now, Maddie was a local resident, so she was at a lot of Wareham Gatemen games, and her mother said that she was feisty, she was a love bug, and she was a girl who had friends everywhere. Proceeds of the Forever 1111 organization will go towards things like a new scoreboard for Maddie's soccer team, scholarships for her teammate at teammates at the Marion Scorpion, and also being able to provide avalanche safety awareness. These are the ways that Madeline's mom says that she wants to honor her daughter's memory in the best way possible. Back to you guys.
Trip on the Cape Cod dinner train for 2. Tickets $6.99.
CeCe, thanks so much, and what a tragic story, but so glad that her family and the rest of this Wareham community coming together. Her family got to throw out the first pitch today here at Spillane Field, and really a special cause after a very, very tragic accident. And so glad that you were able to talk about it here tonight. 7-5 ball game here in the top half of the 7th. Wareham's offense has been on fire over the last 3 innings. 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Connor Mohan is back out here in the 7th, going against the 9-1-2 of this Bourne order, trying to keep Wareham in front. It was 2-0 Gatemen, and then it was 5-2 Braves, and then Wareham with 5 unanswered. As the Bravos look for a response, starting with John Stutzer, the center fielder, who is 0 for 2 in this ball game. First time that he will face Mohan tonight. Started off against the cleanup man, Luke Costello. Mohan with a deep breath, glove to the face, and comes home. First pitch, chopped to the left side, foul for strike 1, and Wareham, at this point, you obviously don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. What would break a 5-game losing streak for the Gatemen coming into this game and give them an interdivision win. Be a big one. 0-1 is check swing, does not go around from Stutzer.
And that's the bigger picture, Dan, but even in, right here, right now in this moment, Connor Mohan wasn't immune to the slow starts offensively. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest open to his summer, but he wasn't really helped out a ton by his offense. Now he gets that same luxury that Wade Walton had of pitching with some run support, pitching with a lead. Wade Walton, unfortunately, didn't have the 5th inning after Wareham took the lead, but now Connor Mohan right back to it.
1-2. Popped up on the first base side to Lira. He is in foul territory where he makes the play for the first out. Also, one defensive change for Wareham here in the 7th. Levi Clark exits the game, and Drew Rogers in behind the dish after he was hit by a pitch in that bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, good to see Levi Clark still ran the bases afterwards, but that one hit him down on the leg. And I totally understand why, if you are Ryan Smythe, you want his day to be done. You have 3 catchers on this roster. You had the day off yesterday. Maybe Drew Rogers had the scheduled day off today, but no issue with him catching the rest of this game, giving Clark an extra half inning to reset.
And trying to do that here against the top of the order and Blake Schaff, the second baseman. Wareham leading this game by 2 runs. But Schaff has been good today. 2 RBI double in the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Misses down low for ball 1. And this is a Bourne squad that went down 1-2-3 to Mohan in the top half of the 6th. All of those were strikeouts. Mohan deals the 1-1. It's bounced in the dirt off of Rogers. Do it again at 2-1. Last time that Rogers caught was last game. That was against Brewster. And what was a 5-3 loss for the Gatemen as Mohan toes the slab once again.
And even more so for Wareham, when you talk about late game defensive replacements, Drew Rogers.
2-1 is lined off of Mohan. He fields it off of his leg. He throws to first to Lira in time. Stung him a little bit, was able to make the play. So no harm, no foul there, and there's 2 down.
Now Ryan Smythe quickly out of the dugout to check on Mohan, and a quick wave. Says, "You're good, Skip. You can go back." Mohan showing Tony Lira where it hit him. He says he's good, and that one did. It smoked him and brought Lira off the bag, but those were the kinds of plays that Wareham wasn't making through the first 15 games of the season. So now that you see the offense start to produce, you're getting some good starts from Wade Walton. Maybe not the finish that he would have liked, got forced out after a great first 4 innings. But now Connor Mohan has done what the Wareham bullpen has done all year and kept the Gatemen within striking distance, and this time pitching with a lead.
Now going against Rustin Rigdon, who grounds the first pitch back to Mohan. He fields on a hop, tasers over to first, and gets the third out. So a nice 1-2-3 here in the top half of the 7th for Connor Mohan. It's time to stretch with Wareham in front by 2 here on a Friday night on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Bottom half of the 7th here in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky with the Gatemen leading things 7-5. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Here in the bottom half of the 7th, Brandon Shannon is off after he allows 5 runs, and the new arm on the mound is Ben Dean.
6'3" righty from Duke, out of the transfer portal a couple of years ago. Last cycle, originally started his collegiate career at Dayton, but was outstanding with the Blue Devils this past spring. Through 34 2/3, pitched to a 4.41 ERA, had a 7-1 record. College teammates with R.J. Hamilton not due up in this half inning, Dan, but you imagine if they push him like they did Shannon, that they'll certainly see each other. But Ben Dean's been solid. The rising junior had a very, very good year. 24 walks to go with 60 strikeouts.
And it's a 3-pitch mix for Dean. Fastball, curveball, and the changeup. Headlined by the fastball at a 45% usage rate. That tops out at 95 miles an hour. The curveball at 84 and the changeup at 88. That being the third pitch, the alternate pitch being the curveball. So really fastball and curve for Ben Dean. Trying to limit some of the offensive production from this Wareham lineup. Everyone has been aboard today in some capacity. 1-9. And it'll be 7-8-9 for the Gatemen here in the bottom half of the 7th. Cade Elam, the second baseman, steps in, swings at the first pitch. It's a lazy fly ball into center field. Stutzer there to make the play, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Ben Dean.
Yeah, good start for Dean. Wareham really got the best of Brandon Shannon throughout his stint, and now trying to do the same against Dean. But right now, this Bourne offense trailing and hasn't gotten the production that they've been used to. Wareham with a chance to tack on some more, but Ben Dean, one of the higher leverage guys for the Braves this summer.
Now it's Henry DiGiorgio. 1 for 2 in this game. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. And DiGiorgio laid down the sac bunt in the 5th. That, at the time, tied the game at 5 before the Gatemen posted 2 additional runs last inning. They scored 2 or more in each of the last 3. 1-0, fly ball into left field. Bolton moves over and makes the play. So after Brandon Shannon was kind of out of control, Ben Dean has come in and calmed things down. Back-to-back outs to start off his outing.
Very nice job. A guy that has done very well at the summer level, had a 1.5 ERA in the NECBL a year ago. Now trying to pick up right where he left off last summer in the spring. Was a guy that was trusted in tons of situations for Duke and are now being trusted to keep the Braves at an arm's length.
Carter Groen at the plate in his debut with Wareham. Takes the first pitch upstairs, a 4-1. And he has had a great debut, just like his counterpart Connor Cuff. He is 2 for 3 in this game with an RBI and a double. 1-0, cut and a miss for strike one. And Connor Cuff with the solo home run, a couple of singles, amounts for 2 RBIs. So he has been just great in this game, as has Groen. 2 guys who batted above 300 this past college season, making an instant impact for Wareham. 1-1. Blown out of play on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Groen, the left fielder. Obviously, this is the first game for Cuff and Groen, so Ryan Smythe toying around with where to put them in the order. I'll tell you one thing. I think that they've proved to be in the upper half of this order going forward.
I would be shocked if those two aren't stacked at least in the top half tomorrow at Bourne.
They have been great. The lefty and righty duo. 1-2. Chop just foul.
And that's why, listen, said it time and time again. Gatemen, the first 16 games, not good. But you never know over the course of a summer ball season who you lose, who you might gain. Obviously, Wareham has lost some key pieces when it comes to Chris Ramirez and Caden McDonald, who was very good. But then you also get the opportunity for guys like Carter Groen and Connor Cuff to step in and through July. And, if they stick around, they seem like they'll be very solid pieces for the Gatemen lineup and potential mainstays going forward.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 7th against Groen. Here's the pitch. Cut and a miss for strike 3. So Ben Dean comes into this game and provides some much-needed relief for this Braves defense. He works a 1-2-3, and we have got 12 outs to go here at Spillane Field with Wareham in front, 7-5 on Cape League TV.
The Cape League TV app. Available now.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
We've hit the 8th inning here at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky in a 7-5 ball game. We take a look at some scores around the Cape. The one that jumps out to me the most, Cotuit and Falmouth in an 11-10 ball game. That game is currently in the 6th and with now 11-11, but it was 10-10 after the first 2 innings.
Yeah, Cotuit with an 8 spot in the top of the 2nd. Falmouth with 5 runs apiece in each of the first 2 innings. Nice job by each of those 2 bullpens to stabilize that game because they were in desperate need of it. But Ryder Woodson just delivered the solo home run just moments ago to tie that game up at 11. And then, YD.
This never stops for them. They are 15-1-1 on the season. Just nasty. It's still Connor Mohan out on the mound for Wareham here in this 8th inning, facing the 3-4-5 hitters for Bourne, starting with Andrew Costello.
And especially for YD, that one tie game called early due to darkness.
Cut and a miss from Costello makes things 0-2, and it seems like YD has really established themselves as the untouchable team, but everybody else around the league certainly beatable on any day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wareham looking to beat the Kings of the West as of right now, which are the Bourne Braves. 0-2 high and away for ball one. Start to think about how long Connor Mohan is going to stay in this ball game. This his fourth inning of work as he came in the fifth, got the last out in the fifth, and is now appearing here in the top half of the eighth. 1-2 pitch. Slap down the right field line. Wax is chasing, and it falls out of play.
You see all the Bourne bullpen. They're just hunched over, relaxed, watching Wax run his tail off in the foul ground.
That'll be like everyone tomorrow when we're running. Everyone else will be out on the sides just watching us struggle.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm ready to go, though.
We're going to need one heck of a post-game meal to be ready to go for tomorrow. 1-2 strikes here on Costello. Mohan with a deep breath. Here's the pitch. High and away for ball two.
It's Wareham offense. They've come alive. Why can't we come alive?
Why not us? We'll just have to wait and see on how that goes, though. And if we make it for the Bourne tomorrow.
Yeah, if we have a fill-in broadcaster, you know why.
2-2 is nubbed back to Mohan. He picks it up and flips the Lear at first. One down here in the top half of the eighth. Connor Mohan has been on fire. That is 8 straight batters retired for him.
And what a difference it's been, him in a starting role versus him in a reliever role. Wake Forest, one of the best programs in college baseball right now. And right now pitching like he deserves that spot with the Demon Deacons.
Has provided unprecedented length, really, for Wareham, trying to will them to victory. Luke Costello, the first baseman, in the box. First pitch. Runs in and ends up hitting the left leg of our home plate umpire, Brian Roth. Rogers didn't see it.
Obviously hope he's okay.
100%. And for Costello, he was the first batter that Mohan faced. Ripped that 2 RBI double off of it, but since then, Mohan has retired every single hitter that he's faced. Costello steps back in. 1 for 3 with a pair of RBIs on the day. Mohan misses outside for ball two. A Bourne team that did not score till the bottom half of the 7th yesterday was trailing 8-0 to Hyannis and rallied off 7 runs in the last 3 innings, but ended up losing. 2-0s bounced in the dirt. The count goes to 3-0. There's no arm getting going out there in the Wareham bullpen because Mohan's been on such cruise control in this game.
And I can't imagine he would get the 9th too. It would be very deep into the game if you're Ryan Smythe. Not that Connor Mohan can't do it. We saw him in a starting capacity.
3-0 is a sky-high pop into shallow left field. Groen lost it for a second, and it drops. Nobody saw it in the lights, and going over to second is Costello. That ball just dropped in left center field. Groen and Hamilton both lost it.
Yeah, nobody stood a chance here. Nobody was really particularly close either. You see DeGiorgio go back. He doesn't know. He looks over at them. Groen looks at Hamilton. Hamilton's looking over at Groen. Hamilton looks up, and it drops for a base hit.
Goes down as a double for Costello as the ball was never touched.
Yeah, now if you're Connor Mohan, you have to battle here because the tying runs at the plate. You haven't gotten into this kind of trouble before, but you induce pretty much no contact. I mean, you know, in most circumstances, that's just a fly out to left or to center, but Wareham doesn't make the play.
Matt Bolton, the left fielder at the plate. Bolton struck out in his first appearance against Mohan. 1 for 3 on the day. Loops the 0-1 back to the screen. The count quickly to no balls and 2 strikes. And Groen struggling with the ball. His newcomer Cuff also struggled with the pop-up in the first inning. So just getting familiar here to Spillane Field. First time that both of these players are in action here at Spillane. No balls and 2 strikes here against Bolton. Here's the pitch. Misses outside for ball 1.
And if you're Mohan, that being your 45th pitch of the day, you obviously don't want to use too many quote-unquote waste pitches, but in an 0-2 count with a runner on second, I don't mind pitching away from Bolton.
A powerful hitter. 3 triples on the season, leads the Cape, but he's frozen here in a 1-ball, 2-strike count for strike 3.
And so he works well away from Costello. And then Bolton on the pitch prior, he stays away from him. And then Costello, or Bolton rather, is kind of like, okay, well, if he doesn't want to challenge me in a pitcher's advantage, he won't. But then Mohan follows it up. That fastball on the outside corner.
2 battles with Bolton, 2 strikeouts. Now going against Mark Quattrani, who is 0 for 2 against Mohan in this ballgame. Struck out last time, first pitch, in there for strike 1. Mohan doing a really nice job responding after allowing the double, which was a mile-high pop-up into left field that both outfielders lost. Mohan doing a great job, though, of battling back. 0-1. Chopped foul, and this the first live action that Quattrani has seen in quite some time. Last played in the 6th game of this season against Falmouth. That was on June 19th. In the first 6 games, a 208 hitter, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. So plenty of power, plenty of pop. But just getting used to seeing pitching once again. The 0-2. Cut on and missed for strike 3. Mohan works around the 1-out double and has done a great job in this game of responding. It's been awesome for Mohan. That was his 5th strikeout of his outing. After 7.5 innings here at Spillane Field, it's still Wareham up by 2 here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom half of the 8th as we take a look at a pretty sunset out in left field and time setting on the Braves' chances to win this game, which is a good news for the Gatemen here in the bottom half of the 8th. 3 outs left to go on defense, but have to bat one more time, and it'll be the top of the order for the 5th time today, starting with Jason Wax still going against the reliever Ben Dean. Readies and fires. First pitch, ground ball over to the second baseman Schaff. Fields throws to first in plenty of time, and really Ben Dean has been amazing in this game for Bourne. 4 up, 4 down for him.
Yes, he has. He's mixed and matched his pitches very well, and Wareham, who saw a 99-mile-per-hour fastball from Brandon Shannon, have really settled down. Even though Dean is a drop-off when it comes to velocity, he's pounded the zone, made Gatemen hitters earn it, and the bottom of the Wareham order has produced, but he knew that you're facing a Gateman side or portion of the order that hasn't had a ton of success. So he's doing a nice job making hitters work for it, and right now he's been more successful.
Going against R.J. Hamilton here. Dealt a first pitch strike, trying to give this Braves offense a chance in the 9th inning. A team that has put up all 5 runs in one frame today. That came in the 5th. 0-1. Big cut and a miss from Hamilton. He's down 0-2. And he's 5 straight games with a hit now after his last start against YD. So a guy that's really been seeing it well at the plate.
Yeah, Ben Dean, a guy with a ton of swing and miss in his arsenal. Seen it this at bat with Hamilton.
0-2. Fouled into the glove, and you mentioned it. There's the strikeout, second of the outing for Dean, and there's quickly 2 down.
Yeah, and this shouldn't come as a surprise. What I was getting to was last time out when Dean threw against Harwich, had 4 strikeouts and generated a 50% whiff rate. So about half the pitches guys were swinging and missing on, so it didn't really come as a surprise. But for Bourne, using this piece shows you, what Wareham hitters have done early on in this game to make them need to use this guy because, listen, pitching Ben Dean today means no Ben Dean tomorrow.
That is true, and these two teams play tomorrow in Bourne. First pitch from Dean is a strike to Nate Nowitzki, who had the RBI single back in the 6th. That made the game 6-5 at the time. Then Connor Cuff added another RBI to make it 7-5. Dean misses outside with the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. It will be the bottom of the order due up for Bourne in the bottom half, or in the top half of the 9th, I should say. 7, 8, 9. But some capable hitters down there, all of which have reached today. 1-1 down in the dirt. You go back to Orleans the other day now, Adam, a game where Wareham also had a 2-run lead in the 9th and then blew that one. It'll be interesting to see who gets the save opportunity. But certainly the 9th inning, not a place that has treated Wareham well as of late. Looking to correct that when we get there.
Still nobody throwing for Wareham in its bullpen.
Could be Connor Mohan to go out there and close out the game. It is just his 2nd time through the order, and he's allowed 2 hits, both to Luke Costello, both doubles.
And if he can finish this off, Connor Mohan, obviously we'll get to it more in the 9th, but that would mean he would go 4 1/3 and Wade Walton 4 2/3, almost like a piggyback system. And if that what works for Connor Mohan, the mentality, as you see, not a ton of activity right there. Guys
Everyone's in their Adirondack chairs, just hanging out.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll
So
see.
if that's what works for Mohan, and he likes coming out of the bullpen, and he starts to throw a little bit more consistently.
Payoff is grounded over to the shortstop, Rigdon, who just misses it. Ball trickles into center field, and that one just got above the glove, below the glove.
Just yanks the head. You see it right there. Has it, pulls his head up, pulls his glove up way too soon. And you also see Ben Dean starting to walk off the mound. Felt like he could have trusted his defense in that situation, but Rigdon gives Wareham a 2-out base runner.
Nate Nowitzki aboard for the 2nd time today, and for the 5th time tonight. It was going to be Levi Clark, but it's Drew Rogers, who came in as a defensive replacement, swings at the first pitch. It gets by Costello. Going over to second is Nowitzki.
And we'll have to monitor the status of Levi Clark, but I think if anything, just a precaution. Levi Clark did run the bases. Drew Rogers got the catcher's gear on and then just came in that following half inning.
Rogers was in the game yesterday, went 1 for 4. Single coming in the 2nd. Takes a look at the 0-1. It's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Obviously, Wareham would love to bring home Nowitzki from second. Get a little bit of insurance, pad that lead. Rogers trying to do exactly that. 1-1. Runs in and nearly hits him. 2 Wareham hitters have been plunked in this game. Rogers not trying to become the 3rd, and it's the 3rd straight game in which the Gatemen have had 2 hit by the pitch. Dean ready. Comes home. Delivers a nice breaking ball. That's called a strike at the bottom of the zone. Rogers not happy with it. Neither is the Wareham coaching staff, as they're talking to Ryan Roth, and the count's 2-2.
Right there, bottom third, is the breaking ball, so it looked like he might have felt it dropped a little bit more on Roger.
Just go back to second base. Take a look at Nowitzki. Just remind him that he's there. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And Wareham leading this game by 2. Dean comes home. Roger slaps it away. He's doing a nice job of battling in this count. Be the 6th pitch coming. Rogers doing a nice job yesterday behind the dish as well. Had a couple of caught stealings, helping out his defense in that game against Brewster. 2-2. Checks his swing, does not go around, and the count runs full.
And Drew Rogers, so eager to protect in that situation, loads up his swing. And a nice job by him to take, because he's one of the best at fouling off 2-strike pitches and getting one that he likes that time. Nice job holding it.
Payoff. Chopped over to the third base side. Caraway throws across the diamond with a nice throw to end off the inning. So nothing comes of the 2-out error by the shortstop Rigdon. And the Braves are down to their final 3 outs of this ball game. See if Wareham can close it out on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Take a look at some of the hits of the days. We've hit the 9th inning here between Wareham and Bourne. You see the home run from Connor Cuff, which was the first run of this ball game for Wareham. That came all the way back in the 4th inning, and since then it has been hits galore for both sides. Bourne putting up the 5 spot in the top half of the 5th, but Wareham doing a nice job of responding with 3 in the 5th. 2 in the 6th. They've scored 5 unanswered runs, and it will be Connor Mohan to try and get the save here, and he's gone a while already in this game. He's gone 3 1/3, looking to finish this game with 4 1/3. First pitch to Trent Caraway is a strike. Lots of defensive replacements for Wareham in this one. Wax moves from right into center. Dubovic takes his place in right field. Foster Apple comes in left as the 0-1's a called strike, and then since Wax is now in center, RJ Hamilton goes to second base. Ryan Smythe really trying to bolster the defense as Wareham looks to snap a 5-game losing streak. Mohan confident, ready with the 0-2. Here it is. Chopped right back to the screen. Caraway struck out to Mohan back in the 6th. That was a 1-2-3 inning for him, filled with strikeouts. Came in with 2 outs in the 5th, has let up just 2 hits, has been brilliant for Wareham. Delivers the 0-2. Outer half for ball 1. Certainly being stretched out, but not length that he's not used to since he started in the first couple of games for the Gatemen, and Wareham with a couple of arms getting going out there in the bullpen just in case. 1-2 pitch. Sky high pop-up, left side of the infield. Cuff under it and makes the play. As it was actually Cade Elam coming into the game for Cuff over at third base.
Yeah, and we've seen that similar pop-up to the left side of the infield, and that has dropped today for the Gatemen. This time, Ryan Smythe moves Elam from second over to third, with R.J. Hamilton being more comfortable at second, and it pays off. Elam tracks it, one gone.
Now, John Cooper Williams at the plate going against Mohan. First pitch, high and away for ball one. 1 for 3 in this ball game for Williams. Struck out looking to Mohan back in the 6th. This would be a big one for Wareham if they can pull it off. 2 outs to go. The 1-0 is a nice pitch from Mohan. Wareham facing Bourne tomorrow for the first time this season on the road. We'll have that one for you here on Cape League TV. Should be a fun one on July 4th, the 250, and it would be a lot of momentum for Wareham to come into that one with a win. 1-1 is cut on and missed, and Mohan in cruise control here in the 9th, up 1-2. Has already posted 6 strikeouts, hunting for number 7. Deep side. Winds and fires. Just misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2.
And if you're Mohan, you're absolutely okay with this. I like what Wareham's doing with its defensive replacements, and you saw in Orleans when the Gatemen had the 2-run lead, it was too late. This time, getting arms warming.
2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3.
And you'd rather be safe than sorry. And right now, Wareham has Bourne down to its final out. I think you're okay taking your foot off the gas a little bit. But Ty Starks started to get roughed up a little bit against the Firebirds. This time, Mohan trying to finish the job himself.
Last out in the form of John Stutzer right now for Bourne. Trying to keep this game going and give the top of the order a shot. Mohan looking to close it out. First pitch fouled out of play for strike 1. Wareham prepared to take things on the road tomorrow to face the Braves. Was swept in this 2-game series by Bourne last year. Looking to flip the script here in 2026. 0-1. Checks his swing. He does go around. And the Braves are down to their final strike.
They got to attack here. Stutzer, 20 strikeouts, beats the Braves. If you're Mohan, you don't want to dance around him too much, but continue to attack. 1 strike away.
0-2. Here in the top half of the 9th. Mohan fires, and he gets the swing and miss to end off the ball game. A heroic relief performance from Connor Mohan. He comes into this game in the 5th and pitches the last 4 1/3 for the victory. Wareham breaks the 5-game losing streak, takes this one 7-5 over the top-placed Bourne Braves in the West Division.
Yeah, I don't think it's an exaggeration at all, Dan, to say that this was the most complete performance from Wareham this season, despite giving up 5 runs. You battled back. You got punched a little bit, but you punched right back. Wade Walton had a good start, started to get roughed up. They go to Connor Mohan, and that was the exactly right call for Ryan Smythe, to go to a guy that can give you length after an off day, and right now Wareham gets out of this with a win and uses just 2 arms, and you have a very good bullpen piece in Connor Mohan.
And important for tomorrow as well that Wareham uses limited pitchers tonight. Will go against these Braves in the 2nd game of the home tomorrow, but it feels good to get a win for Wareham, the record improving to 4-13. It was a struggle to get to that 4th win, but they finally did it here tonight.
Yeah, it took a second, and this is the time that you want to start playing better baseball. It's just 1 game, and we know over the course of a 40-game season, every game matters. But your 4th win, when it comes in July, we saw the standings. We've talked about it. Wareham is not out of this whatsoever. They're within striking distance, and a performance like this where the bats get going, and you can feed off that performance. When Connor Mohan finished the game, he was excellent. 2 new guys make their debuts with Groen and Cuff, and they were spectacular at the plate, put together really good appearances at the dish. And Wareham, I think that's probably the best outing. I just said it, most complete, but from start to finish, felt like that was one they can really build on.
Couldn't agree with you more. Wareham scores 5 unanswered to end off this ball game. Takes down Bourne 7-5 in the first matchup between these two sides this season. Wareham right back in action tomorrow visiting Bourne. We'll have that one for you 6 o'clock on Cape League TV and the Wareham Gatemen YouTube channel. But for now, for our entire production crew, the third member of our broadcast team, CeCe Gabriel, and my partner Adam Hipsky, Dan Shalam, wishing you a happy 4th of July weekend as Wareham wins 7-5. And one last reminder before we go, this broadcast is a copyrighted production